Hey everyone, Dash Attack here. Hope you're all doing well. And welcome to another episode of Dash's Old White Road. I'm here, of course, with Digny, Xeen, Damien, Galaxy Red, and our today's guest, Piggy Boy.
Hi.
They have me tied up. This is against my will. I don't even know where I am right now.
Yeah,
There's no bondage involved.
Neku will be traded out when Xeen leaves in an hour.
Yeah. Yeah, Dash kidnapped a pig and brought him onto today's show because I've heard Piggy Boy on the grapevine because he's a big motherfucker. But welcome.
For you.
Welcome to the only network show that doesn't have an intro for some reason.
Well, it's because of the StreamYards. Because of StreamYards.
No, we already know this, Dash.
You need to do the intro, Dash.
You can just
Welcome
have
to
a
the Old
video
White Road.
play for a good.
Oh,
You
yeah.
live stream this on OBS, by the way, the StreamYards, or is this?
No.
No, I'd
Okay.
rather take a loaded gun to my mouth than use OBS to stream a network show.
No, I'm not
Don't
talking
even
to
start
Diggy. I'm
that.
talking
I
to
don't
Dash.
even like restream. I don't even like restream. What do you
I
mean
could
a
play an
license
intro.
will-
I could play an intro if we used Restream. Like we
Yeah, I
just
know that.
used Restream.
You could
Two.
do that here too, though. All you have to do is
Two.
share. You just get your
Okay, look,
video
I,
and then share your screen, and
I,
then
I really am in
And then
a
make it full
technical
screen.
debate right now.
So
Is
welcome one
this
and all to
talked about
Old White-
before
it's
the
called Old
show
White,
started?
No, we're talking about it now because it's been getting on my nerves for 33 weeks. Scene, okay. The Old White Road theme song is arguably the best song the network has. And Dash is like, no, I'm just going to press this button and say, hi, guys. How you
Well, wait a minute.
doing?"
Wait a minute. Hold on. Does it sound like Song of the South?
I don't know what that means. I'm 26.
well, this is the first
You're
time.
not
you-
26.
You're also
I'm
British,
26.
so-
Well, I mean, you'd think we could have aired this out before we went live, Digny.
No.
we've already
Not-
told you about this. Like, every
Yes.
single time.
I told you they've paywalled it. They've paywalled
Yes, but you
every
don't have to
fucking
do-
feature.
You don't have to
They
use it
haven't
that way.
paywalled. They haven't paywalled sharing a fucking video file, Dash.
Okay,
They haven't done that. They haven't
you know what?
paywalled
You know what?
sharing a fucking
Well,
video file.
well, you know what? We'll use the intro from my show.
No.
Let me just go
It's
to
not the
members
same show.
only videos.
See, for the first time in my life,
Here-
I'm
here
fully
we go.
agreeing with Galaxy Red.
Here we go. We're playing my fucking intro. We
No.
are playing my fucking
No, I
intro.
don't want to
That
play
has
your
nothing-
intro.
But this
I
is
don't
not
want to play
the.
your fucking intro.
You see,
This
you see
is
this
an
whole
open-
podcast was actually just a way for Dash to advertise his channel. Okay.
Oh my god.
This is also not
He's
how we're doing it.
advertising his less successful show on his most successful show.
They're both my
It's
shows,
fucking
so
ridiculous.
it works.
Yeah, but it's still also not Old White Road though.
Turn
You
that
have the right
fucking
intro.
back off.
Hey, I don't watch Star Trek. What's the Klingon sword called again?
Oh my god.
A Battler.
Atler. Yeah. I didn't know you could make them. I didn't know you could make them float, Dash.
This is not really that good of an intro, by the way. Other than the song.
No, my favorite part is the YouTube browser. That's the best part of this intro.
Splitting the dark, carving away. A cooler gamer ready for a fight. Fall to the shadows.
Hey, Dan, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, Dan?
You can see the AI watermark, folks.
I did it
Yeah.
so I could get it for free.
Dash didn't even crop it fucking out. This is why the Old White Road is the most successful show on Dash's channel.
We gotta. Well,
Hey,
what's
there's
behind the
like-
paywall to remove the
Waiting.
watermark?
Oh,
You got a raid there.
Okay, I Mr. Krabs did. Like, what do you guys?
do you not know how to crop? You don't know how to share a video file, so I'm amazed
I
if you
didn't
know. how
think
to-
anyone
how to
would
crop.
be a bitch about the fucking watermark.
All right, welcome to the Old White Road, the only network show that doesn't have an intro for some fucking reason. It's great to see everyone.
Make an intro. Send me the file. I will try and play it, even if we just have to put it up on screen.
That's what we've
made my
been
day.
telling you to do before. Put it up on the screen.
Look,
Okay. You want
look, folks. I'm gonna lay this down. It's great to see Slay. It's great to see Dash's film buddy Furious Dan because they go to the cinema together. Right? I can share my own screen through a video file and play a nice intro. I've just always found it interesting that of all the network shows, we have 7 of them, by the way, folks. This is the only one that doesn't have an intro song. It's a good intro song. I made it on my own channel for everyone to enjoy. But it never gets used. I think deep down, guys, I think Dash is ashamed that this show is called Old White Road because he keeps pronouncing it ODW for some reason. And he says,
that was in the
I'm-
beginning phases because I didn't want YouTube to think it was racial.
Look, I was
yeah, but
promised
you were
a
using-
clan meeting, okay?
But you were promoting it on X's ODW, not on YouTube.
Yeah, look, how New Blackstreet isn't racial. So how is its parody the Old White Road racial?
YouTube does not operate on fucking logic or fairness. You should know that better than anyone.
Well, it's great to see everyone. I wanted to really entertain people at the start of this intro, and I thought, what better way to do that than to simply argue about something?
Yeah, just bust the balls of the host.
Yeah.
We need at least like
great to
30 more
see-
minutes of Dash furiously creating a intro in like desperation.
Yeah. See, look, I'll just make the intro just to prove Digny wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, at least you're not Damien. At least you're not streaming a game just before you're on the show.
Listen here.
don't listen here.
I have a
You
schedule.
motherfucker. I'll pull up my emulator later right
I have
now.
a schedule.
You have a schedule.
go
You have a
start-
schedule every time you take a shit, Damien. It's great to see Byron and Dan and Slay and Galaxy Red and myself and a person whose name sounds like it would summon a demon. It's great to see all you fine folks and fellow creators. If you haven't already, like the stream, share the stream. Of course, donations are always welcome. But let's face it, it's all going into Dash's newest VTuber model that will cost far too much for minor improvements.
I am very
okay?
satisfied with my current model. There are no more expenditures, no more like artists that never get back. It's just I like this model. I'm very happy with it. It works with my rebrand.
Yeah, and I'm
You guys
happy
should
with
check
mine
out-
too. I didn't have to pay much for mine because I made it myself pretty much, except for maybe paying for like $20 or so for outfits. That's
Look at
it.
these
You
fucking
guys-
VTubers doing their flexing. Jesus Christ.
know.
Just stick with the
Oh, shut
goddamn
up,
yeah.
PNG.
So,
Fuck's sake.
hey, I used
know,
to have a
Piggy boy.
PNG at first. Okay.
A
And if
Muslim
you need
made this for
pizzazz,
me
just
for
fucking-
free.
If you need pizzazz, just slap a hot video game character next to the couch. God damn it.
You gotta understand, guys, right? When Dash was first doing this, he was a skinny, scrawny little bastard, all right? Very shy, couldn't read a script properly. Hand him a script, he'll turn all the E's into 3's for some reason, and all that stuff, okay?
You forgot
But with
the
me-
Ulus.
With me, all of this was made, all these Dignies of the Digniverse were made by a Muslim for free, all right?
Shame
I-
on
I-
you.
All right, well, shame
Hey,
upon
you should have done
You
an
look like a
African kid
twink.
like everyone else.
Why do you look like a twink with a robotic fisting device?
This is not a robotic fisting device. It is armor. And in addition, the body shape is based off my own. Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the
So
big
that's your sword
fear,
arm, right?
and why I am looking to some new and upcoming platforms. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell you guys about that a little bit later.
Well, I don't want to be this
Maybe we
guy,
should
Dash.
stream
But
the Rumble or something too, not just here.
yeah, I don't want.
My
I don't want to
Rumble
be this
is
guy.
very, very. But the Rumble CEO is a jerk too.
Yeah, I don't want to be
No,
this
no.
guy, but this show probably wouldn't do well on alternative platforms, and I'll tell you
No,
why.
I'm sure it would.
Queer, twink, Twink.
I'm not
Pig.
talking about this show. I'm talking about like my main brand,
Wait,
streaming
what's your problem?
games.
Oh, that's even
What's your problem with
worse.
pigs? Oh wait, you're Muslim. You don't eat bacon. Never mind.
Hey, I work with Muslims. I'm not a Muslim.
You
My
are Muslim
goodness.
by
Yeah, you're a Jew,
association.
right? So it's different.
Hey,
Oh,
Don't
then
call
you
me that,
especially
Alex.
hate me.
Yeah, Digny,
Jew,
what has gotten
British,
into you?
Please,
Like,
it's
normally we're
Muslim.
introducing everyone, we're getting ready to like line up the topics, and here you decide to like bring up this intro
you see,
thing
we have
on camera.
you see, we have a guest. We have a guest. We have a
Dash.
new member for Digny's audience here.
Dash, you've got to understand, one of the biggest weaknesses this show has had in 33 weeks is people find it difficult to speak on this panel, right? Which is why I have been antagonizing everyone on this panel so that they drum up some fucking courage to speak.
Listen, you
I'm
always
sorry, Digny, you
antagonize
can't
us,
fix
so that's
autism,
not a
okay?
new thing.
To be
And
fair,
now it's
I
at-
have been speaking up about the intro thing just like you have.
And look, it's had the opposite effect. We've gone from no one speaking at once to 3 people speaking at once. So it's working. It's working in some capacity.
Yeah, now you got the
Basically-
opposite problem. Congratulations.
Yeah,
I know,
agent of
but
chaos.
it's easier to deal with a panel that speaks too much than a panel that doesn't speak a fucking all. So let's catch up with the panel, and we're going to
Well,
start off
yeah.
with Dash. You know, Pigu, it's this motherfucker down here. If he didn't agree with me a lot, he would grind my gears because he always likes to interrupt just when it's the right time. Dash.
Well, you have like
How have
5-second
you been?
long syllables.
See, look, he does. The pig does it too, as well.
Well,
Dash.
I have been
Like
a
whenever
little
you
bit
rant, you don't like
stressed.
rant. You have to like turn it into like a fucking choir sermon or some shit.
Yeah,
Look-
in my personal life, I've been a little bit stressed about some things, but as a content creator, still plugging, keep going on,
Mm,
and keep gaming.
good. I wonder what you're plugging, but best of luck in your personal life. This is why I told you not to go on blind dates. Okay. Now you're all stressed out because you might get a blind date with a woman. I know.
Aren't you supposed to say stretched out?
What?
Stretched, not stressed.
Stretch.
That's what
What?
Damien wants me to do to him.
I'm sorry, Damien. Could you speak properly? Because
I said stretched, not stressed.
He wants
Okay.
you to
Say
stretch his boy
because.
pussy open.
He does.
Don't be a dirty bastard. But Damien can't say because properly, folks. So always bring that up. He'll have to say due to the fact before long. You're a gay person in South Africa. How are you still alive? Xeen, how have you been? That
Yeah.
rhymed.
I'm doing great, and also got into the Rumble creator program.
Oh,
Mhm.
congratulations,
Yep.
Oh,
man!
congratulations. Good job, man. Also,
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Well, I have to do a premium stream now for 5 hours.
Yeah,
Well, you don't
I
have
gotta
to do it all
advertise
once,
that
but
blue
I do
chew.
it all at once, but you don't have to do it all at once.
Well, I don't have to do the ads. Hopefully, they don't bring back the ads, but
Yeah,
No,
there's
no,
no more on there.
They
anymore.
better not.
They
I can only talk about
replace it for
coffee
raids.
for so long.
Yeah, they're replaced it for raids now, so it's all you do raids anyway normally. So
yeah, I
well,
try
you
raid
don't
every
do
day.
raids. You kind of forget every time you're done. I think so.
Well, I haven't been forgetting this time.
Okay, no, just make sure you don't forget now, then, right? Because you're in
Well,
the
I have.
program.
I can't forget now because it's
That's
part of
what
the
I'm saying.
contract.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Anyway, continue.
Yeah, and what I'm still storming ideas for the premium stream.
Just do like a chair. Just do the World of Gaming approach. Just film a
Yeah.
chair for like 5 hours.
Yeah, or you could do. Well, I guess you could do your one of your like real time strategy games or something on premium.
Oh, I haven't been playing RTSs all that often anymore. Although
or you can play Hammerwatch.
Maybe I could just use MMOs because I don't want to be addicted to another MMO. So maybe 5 hours a month, once a month.
5 hours is not enough for an MMO.
I know, that's why I know it's not going to work.
Yeah, I'm
You
trying
see,
to.
the trick
Well,
is
it
that you
depends on
find the trick is that you find the content that no one's going to watch and make that the premium. So then you could just use the excuse, oh, well, people don't pay for Rumble.
How about this show? But no, in all seriousness, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Xeen, for see how angry Dash is, folks. See how he's he's changed it now because he's trying to hide it. But thank you, Xeen. How about you, Galaxy? How have you been?
I've been good, and I'm also glad that I got back into the program myself.
Oh, congratulations, Galaxy. Good job, man.
Yes. Yeah, and I know you're gonna say I'm sorry. Just again, it's just thing on you to go. Anyway, yeah, I'm back in there, so I'm gonna be doing my streams again there. With the Fire 2 be the first premium trader stream, basically for the even if it's not a premium stream, it's just gonna be a creator stream, for stream tomorrow. So I already have all my premium variety. I got a premium stream like every month when I do it, and I know what I do every time for that. So that's just for retro games as a variety of retro stream.
Excellent. And just to let our guests know, Damien is brown. Okay, he
Are you sure?
bleaches his skin. Yes.
Oh, the
Yes.
Michael Jackson approach.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
How dare you?
Yes, you do. You do.
Don't.
You're
Hey,
brown.
Damien, that's like your sword arm that you got the armor on, right?
Yes.
All right. Ah,
At
dirty
least someone. At least someone.
Well, it's great to have Bigoo Boy with us for today's show. Just to give him an example of what this show is about and what the network as a whole is about. The network is the successor to a flagship brand known as Reality Based. Quite frankly, Pigoo, I give most, if not all, of my shows away in exchange for being reanimated from the dead. It's a very revolutionary concept that
Wow,
no
you
other
are
content
Jewish.
creator has ever thought of. Well, thank you for that. That's very kind of you. How have you been first time on?
Oh yeah, I've been doing great. I woke up about like 3 hours ago, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I'm supposed to be on here.
And I
I
really
quickly-
just,
whipped
I know
up
you're
together-
serious, but I still thought it was funny.
yeah.
I made
I
a
told him
whole,
last night, hey, we're going to be on here today. He's like, at 3? I said, yes. He died.
so 2.
Yes.
Well,
forget we're in
thank you
different
for
time
coming.
zones.
Yeah,
on time.
I know. But I mean, like, you're the one that asked me if it was 3 to Central, and I said yes. So
Well, I've just been sitting here like, okay, so do I just need to go in here now? It's like 9 a.m. Like Dash just sent me like the link, and I was like, oh, so do I just like pop in?
well, he sent it to me a few hours ago too. I was like, what the heck? Why you say it so early?
No, that's
I didn't
a
even make an
reality
account
based
for
thing.
StreamYard.
Yeah, we give
Yeah, you
people
don't
the
have to.
link so that they have plenty of time to prepare. I have a very interesting theory. I think Galaxy Red's tongue is so big that he trips over it. And it's not a tongue twister, it's a tongue tripper. It's like he speaks and then he trips over himself.
What that
Okay.
tongue do?
Does lots of things. See how Galaxy is speechless? I wish he was like that more often when we were speaking.
I feel
well,
like you
look.
just like to hear yourself talk, but
Hey,
go on.
I built this. I just happened to give it to a homosexual, okay? In exchange for survival. It's funny what trying to
is
survive will do to
bi
you
now,
in this
not
day. and
gay.
age.
Yeah, he's always getting me wrong. But yeah, technically part of the letter community. But even though I don't really do any of that, but
All right.
yeah, technically,
Dash-
if we want to be technical,
Just stop right there. Just
Dash,
say you're
Yeah.
part of it and don't try to elaborate.
Let's stop.
Let's put it this way, Dash. Are you part of the LGBT community?
reluctantly.
Then you're gay. How about you, Damien? Speaking as someone who is also in the LGBT community, how are you?
Listen, I hate all non-straight people. What do you mean?
Including yourself. You
Listen,
look into the
self-hatred-
mirror. And,
Well, you did say he was
You-
in South. You did say he was
you-
in South America, right? I think hating yourself just comes
No,
with the territory.
no.
South Africa.
No.
Africa. Oh, that's even worse.
Indeed.
Oh my
Yes,
goodness.
but you were asking something, Digny?
I was just gonna say you see yourself in the mirror and you see someone your father isn't proud of. Okay.
Well, I'm not
Just
proud of my parents.
Well, of course you're not. They're boomer South Africans. But how have you been?
I've been well, thank you for asking. I am
Hmm.
doing a lot of content creation. My Sekuno video did quite well. It seems people do enjoy me tearing down women.
Oh,
Yep.
there's my chair. I was wondering where it was.
Well, that's about all I have to say on my side of things.
Excellent. Excellent. I've been doing very well, folks. Thursdays and Fridays are usually my busiest days. I got a few hours sleep before today's show. I'm trying to keep a network of up to 7 shows going, up to 7 days a week, nearly 365 days a year. It's maddening. Combine that with the bitter resentment I have that I have to be a cartoon in order to do this and not really my own self anymore. It really does eat away at me. But I'm here. Thankfully, I'm not queer, and we're going to steer into today's show. And I'm very grateful for everyone to be here. I'm very grateful for Dash getting Piggy Boy on the show. Do you know why? Because if I don't follow you on X and you don't follow me on X, the chances of a collaboration are close to 0. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, shout out to Dash. Our first topic, speaking of Dash sourced all of today's topics because we're trying to teach our hosts to be hosts, because I am a lazy cunt now. 22 minutes dead for our first topic.
Oh,
So if
hey,
you
good
haven't
time.
already,
Good time.
Yep, like the stream, share the stream, donations are always welcome. Our first topic has everything to do with the Blood of Dawnwalker, folks. Dash didn't elaborate on the topic at all when he described it to me. He was just like, the Blood of Dawnwalker and PlayStation DRM.
Yeah,
So those are
I
our
think he
first
just wants
two
to talk
topics.
about the
Yeah,
the
yeah,
show-
So if I
the
just
thing we
heard Blood
watched
of the
before.
Dawnwalker, I just assume it'd be like someone's time of the month or something.
Well, that's
It's a new game from new game that's
Wait, we do-
not from old from previous devs from Witcher.
So
Wait,
so
you
here's the
have to
parcel,
ask.
Dash. Why don't you share your screen and tell us a little bit about this topic?
yeah. X is being really retarded right now.
Good. Very good.
As usual.
So we
Seems
should
to be working
emulate.
on
There,
me, so.
there we go. Yeah, like I guess we can go into the story. New trailer. Like they released a lot of new info, including the release date. Though I was watching Cass's stream. A lot of her chat thinks like the game is kind of like isn't like graphically like that impressive, and they also like think the system requirements are really bad.
Well, courtesy of Dawnwalker, quote, leave no stone unturned as we take all your money. Take a look at the new gameplay footage showcasing some open world activities, gameplay features, and mysteries waiting for you in the watered down version of our version of Crimson Desert. So let's take a look. Well, it is, guys. Let's admit it, right? This isn't a very
It'd be more like The
ambitious
Witcher,
project.
considering it's the old Witcher devs. But
Don't
yes,
don't
yes.
forget you got to share the screen for that tab.
Yeah.
Dash. There you go.
There we
Today,
go.
we'll give you a glimpse of the activities
Make it
our
full screen.
born by day, vampire by night
Don't
protagonist
tell me what to
Cohen
do, man.
can take on.
But it's easier
Tell
for
him what
everyone to
to
see
do.
it.
He likes that.
We start at
Okay.
night.
What
in
the
our
hell?
vampiric form.
Listen, I think the
Well,
YouTube
he's
logo is
a-
part of the charm.
he's a-
Okay,
he's
Alex?
He's a vampire, Piggy.
Reaching a
That way he can
vantage
walk
point
on the
reveals
walls,
nearby
so.
opportunities.
Wait,
and
can you go
helps us
mist form?
plan our next steps.
Oh, I wish. He
I don't-
turns into a wolf shortly later. So like, there is some like Symphony of the Night shit going on.
Yeah, but the issue I have is that they call it chloride, and it's not even clawing up the building.
Chock full of monsters.
And the other thing is when vampires usually only do the walking thing on the ceiling, not on the
Codrin's family's land.
You see, I'm not sure. This protagonist doesn't look enough like Gary Oldman.
His best days are long behind it. I don't think I'll find anything else here.
Let's open them up and check nearby points of interest.
Anyway, like, you know, so
Some
everyone's
archived
been saying
police
how woke
officers.
CD Red is, and here you have like a
Others
bunch of
hidden
people who
mysteries,
actually
complex
made
sites,
like
and shrines
their
used for
critically
fast
acclaimed
travel,
game,
which can also
working on
serve
an
as quest
original
objectives.
story. I just like, I think the
Let's
opportunity
mark one
to like
and head there.
is there for like something great, and kind of show that it's not the CD Red name that made the Witcher games like put them on the map.
Early in the game, we can.
Well, I
unlock
mean,
a
he didn't
perk
claw
that
up, but
allows
he
us
at
to
least clawed
transform
down.
into a wolf and move faster at night. It's
Okay,
quicker
he's
and more
turning the
agile,
wolf.
though it comes with some
Sorry.
limitations. There's also a daytime equivalent, but
I'm
more
at least
on
glad that they acknowledge that vampires don't turn into just bats.
Someone in trouble.
It looks like we've come across a group in need of
Yeah,
help,
they have their own
Either an
vampire
inconvenience
rules
to
for
us.
this game.
and both choices.
Every
lead to
vampire movie
unexpected
ever has their own rules.
We began with death from above, allowing us to quickly.
But yeah, like you'll be able to kill like every NPC, including those important to the story, and that will take into account into the ending.
We-
From what they're
do we
saying.
have things for this game yet?
Do you have what?
Things-
thought I was done for.
A costing.
for.
Oh yeah, that's the standard 70.
So did I, to be fair.
Right.
Wasn't sure I'd get
Price.
you out of this in time.
Nah.
I like how
Not
this guy
bad.
looks like a younger Geralt. Like they didn't even try to hide it.
Bless you.
But
But
even the
facial
music
animation
is
is
straight up
neat.
Witcher 3.
Yeah, I could hear the hurdy-gurdies. That's what it's called, right?
Human
Stupid
blood is most
fucking...
effective.
Well, it's
weird
Polish
Frank
music basically,
instrument.
so
Rely on animals.
that's how it is in
It's less
Witcher as well.
efficient, but it will do.
Because it's still basically set in Poland.
Feeding increases our
Yeah.
corruption level. It's shown next to the health.
I
bar at
can't.
the
I
bottom of
can't
the
wait
screen.
for them to make a
The
game
higher
about how
corruption level,
Poland
the
lost
more
to
vampire
Germany.
perks are unlocked for purchase. Nearby points of interest are marked on the map and indicated on the compass at the top of the screen. Let's head to the shrine. Here's the shrine.
Pick up some mushrooms.
So we can't use it yet.
Desecrated. Looks like the shrine's missing its heart. Maybe I could restore it. The tracks.
See, we got our detective mode. Sorry, Witcher vision.
There's a
The
tree.
thing is, it would have been better if it was more like a sin trail, because that would make more sense for vampire.
Well, if it's all you know, it's like if Bethesda devs made their own game. You know what you're
A
going to
group
get
of
from a
Brent's
Bethesda game.
soldiers has set up camp. Let's clear them out.
The finished Bethesda games or the... Oh, or well, just all of them.
Oh
my
wow,
bad.
they don't even have the traditional vampire teeth.
At the beginning of combat. But we're not able to drain this enemy fully as his comrades quickly come to his aid.
I will say this: the best vampire game in terms of like what vampires can do, Legacy of Kain.
We use piercing shriek to
You know, I should
I was
actually...
looking at reviews for the new Legacy of Kain game. They're awful.
Oh yes, Ascendants. They basically added a girl boss to the lore.
We can use
Oh,
charge
no.
to prevent a counterattack.
You know, I should actually play
Voracious
Soul
Light
Reaver
can
again.
also be used during
Oh, they do
combat
have the
as a
remasters
perk,
out.
allowing us to regenerate some health.
Yeah, I was playing Blood Omen a while back. The game is kind of hard just with the top down.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
With the camp,
So that
Yeah,
always
it's-
interested
our
me. Is it like
income
Diablo?
increases.
Blood
More
Omen?
about this.
No, it's not like Diablo.
Let's collect our loot. We found
I'd say the
shrine
top-down part of that
spot.
is kind of more
Along with
similar
the
to
manual that
Zelda in
unlocks
terms of
any
like
perk.
the camera anyway.
Oh, okay.
Let's open our inventory.
Yeah,
and
This
head to the rest
structure
tab.
would make a great Game of
As I
Thrones
mentioned,
game.
The manual unlocks
It
a
would.
method called precision.
But the thing is, I'm looking at this right
It
now.
becomes available
The UI for the
for-
game is uninspired. I've seen this in multiple titles.
The exclamation mark indicates that a new perk is
Uh,
available.
Yeah,
the
it
God of
doesn't.
War games come to mind. Not the old ones, but you know, the modern
Yeah,
ones.
it does seem
Yeah.
very generic. We've seen like a ton of games use the same like brown leather book like type
no,
of
but you-
UI.
We should be good
Yeah,
to
Dash,
go.
look
Funny
at
is that
all
I
of
think
the
Baldur's
UI.
Gate 3 is kind of guilty of that too.
Yeah, Baldur's Gate is also guilty. But the thing is, if you look at all of the UI, it's uninspired. Like we've seen this everywhere else. We've seen this in God of War. We've seen this in Devil May Cry. We've seen this everywhere.
You're welcome.
Like none of
Wait,
this
they put it.
is.
Wait, cry.
No, like the thing is, the Devil May Cry, not the newer one, but the thing is, the Ninja Theory one, the toned down UI thing is also there.
The Ninja Theory. Is that the one with Dante?
Yeah.
As you can see,
Okay.
it has both
Alright.
experience points
Well, it's
and
hard to be definitive in this day and age.
hourglass icon.
Because it doesn't
No.
sell.
Let's learn it.
But the thing is, it's like they could have put a bit more effort into the whole like theming of the game. Like, for example, in Legacy of Kain, go into that game.
Experience point
Your
available.
blood is kept in this file,
Again,
and as you drink blood or take damage, that file gets depleted or it folds.
is indicated
They could have
on the
done something
color on the
similar,
right
yeah.
side of the screen. Let's purchase one.
I just think it's very interesting that they've decided to make and release this
Time passes
when its
as
main
we acquire new
competition.
books.
And
Rise
you
comes
can pause
again,
this
the
if you
sun
want,
rises
Yeah.
Dash,
and
because
the
that's a
new
good
day
background.
begins.
And
Too late now.
well, that's a fucking awful background.
Oh
now,
yeah.
but,
I'll
Wait, there you go. Stop.
Just-
no,
Damn
right
it.
here, right here. This is a good frame.
Okay. I so
Okay.
declare this show is for the gay people, but in all seriousness, okay. I do think it's very interesting that this is going to be released at full price, $70, at a time when its biggest competitor will be Crimson Desert, which by that point will be out for quite a few months. And quite frankly, people would probably gravitate towards that over this, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the only
Well-
way this title will succeed is when it releases. That
Yeah.
honestly, that's going to
But-
determine whether or not it fails.
Yeah,
Well, the biggest difference would be that this game is going to be more structured
Yeah.
with the story and everything.
Yeah.
And Piggy Desert
I'm-
is not really.
A shout out to Levistro. He sends in $5 saying DRM free kitty litter money. Also, now they show more. I say this is game looks interesting. Interestingly boring. So I actually think it is interesting because they've got this Majora's Mask timeline thing where you have to switch between playing as a human and playing as a vampire, and that you can kill all the NPCs and that they have multiple endings. There's
Can
a
you
lot
explain
of
more in
room for
detail the
role play.
Majora's Mask bit you just mentioned?
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
It's more than just the time.
yeah, you have 30 days to save your family or not. You can choose not to save them. They said the game will continue even after that point.
Good.
Yeah, you
Wait,
can,
so the time limit's only for the first 30 days.
yes.
So that's more
Okay,
like
but-
Persona, not Majora's Mask.
Yeah, but the problem is at the same time, it's like, okay, you do that main story. Will there even be enough side content to keep you busy after that?
So what would have happened? Well, we don't know yet, but what would have happened if you run out of time? It's apparently not a game over, according to the devs.
Yeah, apparently. There's probably like some story event that happens after like that point. Like,
Is that going
probably
to be another 30-day time limit, or is it just going to be over after the 30 days?
I'm guessing like some sort of final boss encounter with Brancis, who's the head vampire.
Yeah, no, you see, the issue I have with this right now is it's really not making sense, play incentive-wise, to say, we're placing you on a time limit, but you don't actually need to engage with the time limit if you don't want to.
Well,
Yeah,
they're
because
doing.
with Majora's Mask, you had to
Well-
worry about that time limit.
Yeah, like there's
Yeah.
so many people that do not like the time limit, and like they've been very vocal about like not
I'm
liking
one of
the
them.
time limit, even though, yeah, see, Galaxy's one of them.
Yeah.
they've
see,
assured
you
that
are
you
the
get-
reason games
The,
have
the
gotten
worst worst thing I don't like about it is what they showed in this video, because you use the time to actually learn skills. So when you learn a skill, it eats up your time. So it's like, why are you doing that?
Hold on, wait,
That is-
I didn't
That
even
is the
notice
worst
that.
part. Yeah,
That's horrible design.
yeah. That's the
So
worst
we
part
have
of
to.
it. So
We also have
And
to
it's not like
consider
in
the
Majora's
fact
Mask
that-
where you could just reset the clock whenever you run out of
What-
time. You just lose
Oh,
all
yeah,
your
we're going to
rupees.
talk about
Mhm.
this towards the later half of the show. We are
Yeah.
going to be talking about that.
Yeah. But I want people to consider right here, right now, the Witcher game franchise took 3 games before it became a standout success. The first Witcher game is fucking awful. It's awful.
Yeah,
It's
the
an awful
dev-
Second one
devs-
improved on everything.
Yeah.
but the
Well,
devs that
this
worked
ga-
on this game is supposed to be from Witcher 3. So
Yeah,
Yes.
well, this
Oh,
is
just
supposed
Witcher
to
3?
be.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, like they got
Oh,
the lead
okay.
writer, they got like some directors, like they've got a ton of core people that just
But-
left CD Red
yeah.
to make this game.
But
with
they also
funding
but
from
they also
Bandai
worked on
Namco. Stop
Cyberpunk.
interrupting
so-
me.
I'm just
I-
trying to
I
say
know.
that he also worked on Cyberpunk.
Yeah, some of them worked on Cyberpunk. That is true. That is true. But,
But I want-
they also want this to be a trilogy. So like that, the whole it all depends on the success of this first game. Like, you know, they just wanting to be a trilogy isn't like enough. And it'll be interesting to see like with like how much of like the end with multiple endings, what carries over into the next game.
The LCD ending, the lowest common denominator ending. Because quite frankly, folks, I want people to understand this. Witcher 3 owes its standout success largely as a result of the fact that the games industry, in terms of RPGs in the West, was abysmal dog shit
Mhm.
in the mid
Yes.
to late 2010s.
Yes.
To such
Yes.
an extent,
Yes.
to such an extent that
Yeah, because everybody
Hey.
wanted to follow the Bethesda formula because it sold.
yeah, quite frankly. I
Oh,
mean, you look at you look though, you look at 2015, you look at the success of Witcher 3. This is our game of the year. Didn't fucking work properly as a game. Didn't work properly. For an entire year, The Witcher 3 did not work properly as a game. It became a legacy success in the late 2010s, mainly for the same reason Greedfall became a success. Because the standout
Speaking of which,
The
did you hear that
standout-
Spiders was shutting down?
Yeah.
Yes, because Nacon can't even manage a piss up in a brewery because it's Nacon, folks. But I want people to understand that the circumstances and timing of a game's release is just as important as how good the game itself is. That's why Greedfall got 7s and 8s out of 10 in 2019, while during the era of Fallout 76 and Anthem. If Greedfall had been released around the time of Dragon Age Inquisition and The Witcher 3, Greedfall wouldn't even have gotten a 5.
Okay, so
But
what is like
Hmm?
its top competition going to be? That Wolverine game everyone thinks is going to suck?
No, Dash, I really believe the main competition for this game will be Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert.
Yeah, but
Mm.
it
It's-
just
Yeah.
released. It just released. Like people will
I
be
know.
like,
I know. I think a 6-month to year-old game will do better than this in terms of not only retaining people, but in welcoming people back, especially if they release DLC content at around the same time.
yeah, like that's the thing though. Crimson Desert was like a passion project that like flew on a lot of people's radar, and this is like probably minimum budget, smaller scope. I am not expecting this to be as good as Crimson Desert, like at least as far as like gameplay and like combat and maybe even open world depth. But I think as far as a vampire game and an RPG, I think it's going to serve that purpose.
Yeah, but the thing is, even with the way that they've approached the vampires overall, there's nothing really compelling about them. If we take a comparison of, let's say, Vampire the Masquerade,
Yeah, Vampire the Masquerade. I was about to say, like, it needs to like set itself apart from that, like the basic vampire rules. So they gotta like either add something else or like they
Well,
needed
like-
to show off something more unique in this
Exactly.
trailer. Yeah.
and even not that, we could even look at a game that is less popular, something like Blood Rain. Even they were able to have the game stand out on its vampire theming.
I just want people to consider if The Witcher 3, say The Witcher 3.5 released in 2025, and it was basically the same structure as this, and Geralt
People
became
would
a
get The Witcher
vampire.
3.5 instead, yes.
Right.
Here he's destroying the stockpiles of blood because they're collecting blood as a tax.
Oh dear.
Well, okay, story-wise,
fucking
that's interesting,
American.
but what about gameplay?
But
Well,
the
apparently,
gameplay-
doing this will make branches more pissed at you, and then those edicts that happen every so often will get harsher and change the
Yeah,
game
lure-
world.
Yeah,
Okay.
lure out the vampires so you can take them out. I just want people to consider the fact that there's a reason CD Projekt Red decided to abandon the
Hold-
Witcher 2 and Witcher 3 model in favor of the Unreal Engine, because they knew for a fact that if they made the Witcher 4, it would probably end up similar to this in terms of scale and scope and quality too.
Sorry, just to interrupt quickly.
Mhm.
Is the health bar decreasing because it does not make sense for a vampire to be out in the sun?
Well, I think it's because during the day you use blood magic instead of your human powers. You don't get your vampire powers during the day, so you have you can use blood
So
magic.
you're a vampire without the main weakness of a vampire. Then you're just a normal guy.
Yeah, he's
No, you're
basically
Blade.
Blade. He's basically Blade.
Yeah, you're
That's
Blade.
why it's called
Oh.
Dawnwalker.
He still when he does use his vampire abilities, that he does use HP.
Hmm.
So
Because they
all-
showed it much earlier in the
So
gameplay when he was fighting with that side quest with the shrine. And when
The-
he
the
used his
combat-
vampire abilities there, he used his HP to do so.
I just want to also say this: the combat feels way too stiff.
Yeah, of
Yeah, I
course
can
it does.
see that.
It kind of reminds me of Witcher 2 combat.
yeah, because that's probably exactly what it is. It's the Witcher 2 combat.
We have to consider another possibility as well, right? And I use Greedfall as an example. Released in 2019, the state of RPGs was awful in 2019. Fallout 76 and Anthem. People were willing to cut Greedfall a lot of slack because it was a basic Western RPG that got all the basics right.
It was a double
And
A.
that's
It
why.
was a double A. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, the Technomancer, which was Spiders' previous title, they didn't even get all the basics right in terms of a Western RPG. And that was back in 2016. It still got a 5, 6 out of 10, though. Because Spiders were trying to rebuild a genre of gaming that was, quite frankly, dying in the mid to late 2010s. The Witcher 3 was really the last hurrah in the AAA scene.
You know, when was
When
the
it
last
came
time we
to-
had a good werewolf game? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt,
we
but-
have not had very good werewolf games. Even Resident Evil 8 was kind of like the werewolves are barely in it.
I remember that because I saw the trailers for 8 and I saw werewolves and shit, but now everybody was too busy beating their meat to fucking Lady Dramiskia or whatever her name was.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there was a werewolf game that released a few years ago, but it was lackluster.
Werewolf
I
the
mean, sometimes-
Apocalypse.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard
yeah.
it wasn't that good.
It
But
was
some
mid.
some concepts, guys, they sound fine in your head, like the concept of a vampire investigator during the plague period during World War I or in the interwar period. That
World
led
War
to
One and
and it
vampires.
was
That would be
awful.
cool.
Yeah,
There was
and
a
it
game
already
like
got
that.
On
made.
paper, it would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it already got made, Dash. It was called Vampire, and it didn't do well.
Yeah,
No,
Oh
no,
yeah, that's
yeah.
right. I played it. It's not that good.
Yeah,
No,
you
but-
just proved his point. You're like,
Yeah,
oh
but here's
yeah,
the
that
thing.
exists.
Oh, I
But
didn't
here's the
think he was
problem.
referring to that freaking game
Yeah, because
because
what people, I mean, the idea of choices and consequences and investigations and suspects is like we have LA Noir for the investigation. You don't mix genres that different together. Vampire.
Clearly, the
doctor,
problem was that the
investigator.
workforce wasn't abused enough to make a game like LA Noire. All right.
oh
damn.
man, I
The-
wish
the
we
thing
got
is, Digny,
a noir sequel.
You-
I
that-
think
that's
that is
never
one
gonna
of
happen.
Rockstar's best.
Well, then pray GTA 6 bombs, because then LA Noir and Red Dead Redemption will be all they have left. But on that
Well-
note, ladies
Well,
and gentlemen,
considering Rockstar's political persuasion, then they probably don't even want to make an LA Noire game, even if GTA 6 flops.
Yeah, they've seen the memes.
Well, they won't.
Listen, we're talking about the same company that once upon a time made. Was it?
I want to see
Manhunter?
Rockstar make another ping pong game, to be honest.
No, that's not going to happen. I'll tell you why, folks. Because Rockstar is a company. Oh, look, we're being recommended. Rockstar is essentially at a point where they've got two massive franchises, and they're not going to go beyond them unless they both collapse. So we don't like nor want to stick on one topic for too long because it'll suffocate the other topics. Let's talk about our second topic as I write that down for 45 minutes and 35 seconds. Guys, Sony is doing something that Microsoft once did, and instead of it killing their company, it's not damaging them nearly as much, which kind of describes console gaming. Microsoft does it, causes a lot of damage. Sony does it 5 to 10 years later.
Oh, it's
no
okay when
damage.
Sony does it.
Yeah, the fanboys are like that.
Yeah, it's fanboy console war bullshit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let Dash Attack explain to us what DRM is.
Yeah, so DRM is basically when you have to connect to the internet in order for your system to function. That's like DRM, like, you have a working product, but if it doesn't have that internet connection, it's useless.
Do you know what DRM stands for?
Direct.
No.
Nope. Not direct.
Digital
rights management.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well, courtesy of Wario64, quote, Sony has provided a statement to GameSpot, that was your first mistake, regarding the PSN license checks. Quote, again, players can continue to access and play their purchased games as usual. A one-time online check to mine all of your data is required to confirm the game's license. You got a license for that?
Well, you got a license for that, mate?
You got a license to be a ponce? You got a license to be a nonce? You got a license to use
Yeah, that's the next
PlayStation? No, that's actually the last topic. We have 4.
Oh, okay.
A one-time online check is required to confirm the game's license, after which no further check-ins are required, because by that point we'll have all the data on your PlayStation downloaded to us so we can sell it to the highest bidder. Thoughts, gentlemen? We'll start off with Dash.
That's probably why Sony.
This doesn't satisfy me, and the fact that PlayStation fanboys were satisfied with this answer is, I'm with Mean Bastard. Still not good enough. It is DRM. We've never needed DRM, and if they're doing this to crack down on a refund exploit, then rework your refunds.
Yeah.
Like don't punish everyone else.
Yeah.
Good. Well said, Dash. How about you, Xeen? What do you make of all this?
No, this is basically because since they don't bother like Dash said earlier, it's like they don't bother actually fixing the actual real problem. They just put something on it, like a band-aid, or that gives them more power over their user base.
Yeah, it's a stopgap solution that is causing too much of a blowback. So hopefully it gets reversed, but you never know with these people.
This is kind of like a power grab. It's like you always, you have to keep connected to the internet, or you will own nothing.
And it's so funny because Sony actually counter-marketed like DRM-free PS4 back during the Xbox One debacle.
The Xbox One came out, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Microsoft has the opportunity to do the funniest thing in a while,
basically do
the same thing back to them.
Yeah,
and then at the end of doing that, they say, "What goes around comes around."
Comes around, yeah.
Well, that would require them like being less reliant on Game Pass and digital.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Like they're doing a rebrand. I just don't think it's going to be enough. And hey, St. Hugo, how's it going?
It's hard to steer a massive ship, guys, right? Which is why I try to let someone else do it, and then be like, no, you're gonna crash. Because
So Diggy's the backseat driver. Got it.
Yes. Yeah, but from my perspective, what Microsoft is doing is that they're realizing the power of the brand of Xbox. That brand holds significant power, and all they have to do, because of all the companies in gaming, Microsoft through Xbox can take the biggest hit and be the most customer friendly. They have the potential to be, but Microsoft can be described in a very bold sentence, full of wasted potential. They had the potential to crush Steam in the womb, and they decided, no, let's not go into PC gaming. Let's make our own console. What? That's because they didn't believe that PC gaming had a positive future. But Steam proved them wrong, and that's why we are where we are today. But what about you, Galaxy? What do you make of all this?
Yeah, someone in the replies for this post, if you look, I don't know if you can find it, but their name is Rambling on Deck.
Rambling on Deck.
Yeah,
Rambling on Deck.
right there.
Yeah, here he is.
Yeah, that's the one you like.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is like, there already is a verification when you purchase a game. Like that's DRM. That should be the DRM when you buy the game. So
there we go.
There's the
they
meme.
have it on there.
Yep.
There's what we were talking about.
Yeah, it's just
and all it took was 13. All it took was 13 years. Carry on, Galaxy.
Yeah, there was that, and then there was also people like talking about like what about people that are in the military? You know, that like if they buy a game.
Yeah, those
on
are the
PlayStation.
arguments people had when Xbox was doing the DRM shit too.
Oh,
yeah.
Like whatever.
Sorry to interrupt, but Dash, could you scroll down a bit? Just a bit down, not up, down. Right? Why is Shabbat Shalom trending on X?
Do I dare click?
Breaking news?
Yes, it'd be funny.
No.
Yes.
Shabbat Shalom?
Yes.
Oh,
Erica.
Oh. Anyway.
You see,
the
you see Galaxy,
way Dash is
Galaxy,
like, no.
Oh no.
What we're
no.
what I was trying to do during that, Galaxy, was to encourage Dash to be a bit courageous. And for a small period of time, it actually worked.
And then the stream got demonetized. Congratulations.
Yep.
Oh.
Not that it was monetized anyways, but
No, it's monetized. We are actually monetized, and I have not gotten penalized once.
No, that's the thing. That's the thing with network shows and formerly reality-based shows, Piggy. It's either we don't get touched at all, or we get completely wiped out. There's no middle. There's no middle with us, and we love that. We love that. We love you. We love gay people. We love trans people. We love you all.
Who else do we love?
We love anyone who gives us money too. How about you, Galaxy? Wrap up your perspective.
Yeah. Well, when I was talking about the deployment stuff for people in the army or whatever, the military, I did see someone else say, like, they said, like, someone said, like, if you're they were in the army or whatever, and like, well, what if they can't get to get internet connection before those 30 days? But how are they gonna are they gonna lose their license? Someone replied, "Say you'll be dead soon anyway. F the army and F those stupid OWRs." And I'm like, and I was like, I replied to them. So I said, when people are deployed, that doesn't automatically mean they're in a war. We have multiple bases in other countries where
they're probably not like on foot. Like they're probably in a base because they're all like different. Yeah. You're not just a straight up soldier with a gun when you're enlisted, all right?
People need to train on consoles on Call of Duty so that they can do it properly on the battlefield. Okay? No rushing.
And there's no horizon.
Remember, no rushing.
Pigu, I'm just going to call you Pig. Pig, what do you make of this topic?
Well, it's funny how you guys always mention the whole like, oh, Sony didn't used to be like this. Why are they suddenly like this now? What you kind of have to understand is that Sony is very opportunistic. I know
Yeah.
that Sony actually did have plans to make like the PS4 like fully DRM and all of that nonsense, but then
Yes.
like they saw the reaction that Microsoft got when they released the Xbox One, and then they immediately like damage controlled, like they went back on everything. You know, they did the famous ad, you know, how to trade your game on PS4. So really, this just seems like a typical Sony behavior. You know, they do the official statement, like, oh, hey, we're going to do, like, more DRM shit. And then, like, they got some slight clapback, and then they immediately went damage controlled. And unfortunately, the Sony fan base just ate it up. They should have,
Yep.
like, pressed harder.
Well,
But,
I'm still not going to buy any more digital games from them. Like, you know, if I...
Oh,
I'm-
yeah.
Yeah. I'm not gonna buy a PS5 now either. I was gonna think about doing it, but
You
not
were
doing it
gonna
now.
buy a PS5? What's wrong with that?
Yeah, at one point, yes, but then they kept increasing the price, and now they're doing all this shit. So why would I?
Yeah,
buy it?
exactly. Now is the time
yeah.
to buy a PS5 was like 3 years ago. That time.
Well, if
yeah,
I had the
like-
money 3 years ago, I would. But yeah.
I recently inspected a PS5, folks, and there is a fundamental problem in building a console purely for aesthetics, as Xbox 360 users would know full well.
Oh,
Building a
God.
console to make it look nice is not a good idea. The PlayStation 5 needs a specific stand to use, folks.
Yeah.
Otherwise, too much, hardcore
It'll take up too much
gameplay on it
space. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's just
will
not the
cause it to melt.
It's not the PS5, it's also the PS3 and PS4, where if you don't exactly have the proper cooling or
Air
proper
venting.
airflow,
Yeah.
that
airflow.
thing will melt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're designed keenly for aesthetics, which is the one thing I will always appreciate the Xbox One for. It is not designed to look
Because
pretty.
it's a box.
It is,
It's a
it's
box.
designed to fucking work.
Real quick before we head over to Damien's perspective, this is what I thought. Dash, if you can use my screen.
Oh,
This is what
yeah.
this is what I thought with where Digny was calling Piggy Pig.
Yeah, he's a pig.
Yeah, I'm a pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. At least it
Yeah.
wasn't Charlotte's Web.
Yeah,
I'll take Babe, all right?
yeah.
All right. And now we go from pigs to piglets with Damien. What do you make of all this?
It's not surprising in the slightest. A lot of these corporations are well aware of what their customer base will put up with. And if anyone enjoys getting fucked without lube, it's gamers. So the thing
That is
is,
true.
PlayStation will make an attempt at saying, oh no, we did take into consideration what you said, but they're still going to push ahead with what they did.
That's why you like hanging out with gamers, Damien, because they take it the same way you do.
Well, gay is in their name, so
Gamers.
yeah.
There's a difference between gamers and gamers. One of them is more insufferable than the other.
Also, I like how you immediately used a sex allegory, like no question, on
Yeah,
instinct.
no question at all.
Oh,
question
you
at all.
haven't seen the half of it.
Oh,
I mean, Damien, you have to understand, Pig, Damien is based in a country where having that lifestyle is a death sentence, not because of the law, but because of AIDS.
mhm.
And I'm as clean as a church.
I
Well,
can't
I wouldn't go
What?
that far,
imagine
man.
how. But no,
Okay.
DRM is the AIDS of gaming. We can all agree
Oh
on that.
yeah,
note.
absolutely.
Mhm.
Right. And I think it's very important for gamers to recognize that. And that's why I make the comparison, right? Damien in South Africa is like being a gamer using DRM. It's very, very dangerous. And now what we're going to do is we're going to let Xeen go so that we can invite another gay person on the show. Okay?
Yeah, remove the straight guy for a gay person.
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
you're the DEI sacrifice, Xeen.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
always This show's always like that. Always sacrificing the straight guys for the gays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Welcome to Blizzard.
It was never intentional. It's just how it ends up.
Yeah.
Just like in
You can-
Blizzard.
You can catch me in real soon on Rumble. I'll be playing my Magic 8 Day of the Destroyer. Well, at one man run has the night class. Actually, I'm very at the end. You might actually, by the time anyone come and see the stream, I might be playing the Necromancer. Oh, the
The
mage.
what
Of the,
answer?
I was about to say, there's a Necromancer class? Hold up.
Well,
oh yeah, and the promotion for that Necromancer is a Litz.
Oh, necromancer. I thought you said something else.
of course.
God, you
probably
always
said
have
something
sex
else.
on the mind, don't you?
No, he was
Yes,
thinking
no,
about something. He was
This is
thinking
why
about something else.
Damien. This is why
I mean,
Damien
like,
and Digny is very good
No,
for
it
each
was-
other.
Yeah.
It was a racial.
What
It
do
was a racial joke, you dolts.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I already knew that.
Someone's
That's-
getting it defensive.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
good
already
night,
knew that was
Gene.
the joke that you were.
Uh-oh,
talking
Have a-
someone's closeted.
Have a good
Right.
have a good
Yep.
stream. Okay.
about. See you, Zane.
I'll catch you
Yeah,
later,
well,
Zane.
Bye, Zine. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Yeah. Of course you would say that, Dash. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Okay, Neku, get in here. Get in here, and then I can condemn you for the 15th
not here
time
yet.
about how you made a furry fisting video. He did. He did. I can't get that out of my mind when I see Neku now because it's terrifying.
Hold
So
on,
whenever
wait.
whenever he's
Piggy
ready
considered
to
a furry?
pop in. What was
What?
that, Damien?
I'm saying is Piggy considered a furry?
Oh, I
No.
fucking knew we were. I knew it. We were gonna get to this fucking topic, weren't we? Listen,
Well,
I'm
we-
sorry that all the platformers I play on stream just happen to have anthropomorphic characters, okay? It's just pure coincidence.
Look, we're all cartoons here. I don't want to be a cartoon. I resent the fact that I cannot be myself on this platform anymore. To such an extent that I release it as a toxic gas against my fellow creators. But I, for one, can accept that everyone here is a cartoon character. And yes, Pigoo Boy, it's in your name. You are a pig. Therefore, you are a furry.
Actually, pigs
Okay.
don't have fur.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they like it up the ass. Known
No.
fact.
Hold on, wait.
So
when I think about
That's
it,
not really
I-
furry. That's just being gay.
Yeah, but where's Neku, Dash? You say it was
He said he'd come in an hour, so he'll just pop in.
Maybe I
when-
forgot.
No.
Anyways,
I
back to
sent him
the-
the link. I did send him the link.
No, I'm just saying he might have forgot or
If he
lost
did,
track
he
of time.
did.
Either
He
forgot,
did.
lost track of time, whatever. It doesn't, Yeah.
Anyways, back to the topic. I bet you if Nintendo did this shit, they wouldn't even need to backtrack. The fans would just seat it up like no problem.
Oh, I mean, like you had people defending that a gay key card.
Yeah. Well, the key cards are gay, so there you go.
Yes, they are.
They are. For goodness sake, there's 64 gigabytes on a key card, right? If a Nintendo game is bigger than that, first of all, there's a problem. And second of
Yeah.
all, have 2 key cards. Just like sometimes there are 2 discs for a game
yeah.
release.
But yeah, even the games that are not Nintendo games are smaller than 64 gigabytes normally on the Switch too. So why did it need to put it as a game key card? Just have it be on the cartridge.
Here's another idea, to take inspiration from the old Nintendo 64. How about you boil down the game so it can fit on a 64 gigabyte key card in the same way that famously the Nintendo 64 boiled down. Yeah, they boiled down a Resident Evil game to fit on an N64, despite how massive it was.
I forgot
Why you
that there
do
was a
that?
Resi game on 64.
Yeah.
Yeah.
RE2.
Yeah, it was the first one, right? I think
No,
the first one.
it was 2.
Yeah.
I thought the first one was on there too, though.
No, it was 2.
Okay.
Which is crazy. It's crazy. But another crazy element of this is you can tell the landscape is shifting because PlayStation is fucking up and Microsoft is doing well. When's the last time we experienced that in gaming?
The
At least
360
15
era.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 360 era. Yeah.
Yeah, 15 years ago. The bar's very low Let's just make it quite clear. The bar is very
Well,
low.
have you seen all the memes with all the game companies shooting themselves with shotguns
And then you
and Steam?
Valve just standing over there, just looking confused.
Well, the confusion in Valve's case stems from the fact that all the companies shooting themselves in the mouth are actively trying to develop and enhance their systems, where Valve, through Steam, their main strategy is just to try and keep things as they are, because we know what we're doing
Yeah.
is working. That's why releasing 4 pieces of hardware this year is a very bold move for Steam and Valve to make, because
Mhm.
hardware is where Steam is at its weakest. It's not even a debate, right? You guys remember the OG Steam controller and how garbage it was?
Oh yeah. It didn't even like have like a
But
D-pad. It was
now
like a weird like
the
touchpad thing.
controller releasing in early May.
Mm-hmm. Like next week, right?
Yeah, next week. It actually doesn't look too bad, but we'd have to actually like get our hands on it.
Oh, look who's here! Hey, man.
Hey, how's it
Sorry for
going,
being a
buddy?
little late.
Hi, Naka boy.
Gotta shrink myself. Okay.
All right, continue.
Okay then.
Pig.
Oh, shit. I kind of lost track of thought.
Okay, in that case, let's get Nick
Yeah.
Boy's
I think I was done when I
perspective on
think when I
PlayStation
said that-
DRM.
Well, yeah.
So, I don't know the specifics. So, what does this new DRM do?
Oh, Diggy's gone. That was it. That was
Oh.
what drew him over the line.
Shit. We need Digny back. But yeah, I'll explain it. So
We need
like,
our enabler.
like after you buy a digital game, it has to go through like according to one security check online, and then if it doesn't get it with a certain time, the game could potentially be locked. It's apparently to stop a refund scam, but I think it's extremely unnecessary.
And they're doing this on digital games.
Yep, digital games. Only the new digital games, like past digital games, like they are fine. But yeah, only digital games.
So yeah, this
Um,
just seems like the testing grounds for a digital power grab.
I wouldn't be surprised considering like a couple years ago, people who bought like different shows and stuff from Sony like got them pulled from their libraries, even though
Yep.
they bought them. And hey, this is the video I was talking about last week. Yeah.
What video were you talking about last week?
Oh, well, it's on the tweet right here. This was PlayStation's response to Xbox.
Oh yeah, that.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
it has to be
yeah.
online.
I thought you were about to pull up a video.
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought it sounded like too.
Steam, and they try to destroy me.
You're on the
It was
radar.
Steam. It was what?
This is what these people are like, folks. You praise Steam, and they sue you, right? It's like what Michael Jackson said: "Jew me, sue me, everybody do
Yeah.
me." Okay. Kick me, kike me, don't you black and white me. They literally did
Oh.
that. They did that to me, and it's great to see Neku, boy. I hope you're doing well.
They even
Um,
censored that song too, bastards.
Yeah, they had to, otherwise they would get sued. But quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, to continue the point I was making until I got rudely interrupted by my post office box, quite frankly, if Steam succeed on the hardware front, my God, everyone's doomed.
Yeah, Gaben might actually ascend to godhood if the Steam machine is successful.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting if the GameCube is a success. Who is like, I think one of the big three is going to like be gone.
Probably Microsoft.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be Nintendo. It's either going to be
Yeah.
Xbox or Sony.
I can picture Microsoft doing it because, like Digny said, like Microsoft had the opportunity to cripple Steam, but they decided to make a console instead. Mostly because they saw that PCs back then were very hard to get running and to get games running well on PC back then. Because this is like what, the 2000s or the 90s, or are you referring to some other event, Digny? Oh well, I guess we're not going to find out.
Oh, did he get kicked out again?
It might be his internet. Actually,
Damn.
That's
Well,
what
I
I'm
know.
wondering.
Well, I know when he started, he kind of had like a quartering-looking avatar. Maybe Jeremy's trying to get YouTube to get him kicked.
There we go.
Shit.
I don't know.
Anyway, let's move on to the next topic. While I know that's normally Digny's thing, but since he's not here, I will
Since
actually
you're the
move us-
host.
Yep, I am the host. Digny will say he's the host, but
Take
we'll
the
show
reins.
him. All right, so yeah, Pokemon scalpers. A 45-year-old man was arrested for burglary after hiding inside a Best Buy overnight to be Pasadena.
Oh, Pasadena, yeah.
Yep,
Pasadena.
Best Buy overnight to be the first for a new Pokemon card set released. Employees spotted him on the live security footage at 1 a.m. and alerted police, who entered with a store key and took him into custody. It's ridiculous, this whole Pokemon scouting
Scalping
thing.
thing.
Even Meat Canyon did a video on it.
Mm-hmm.
It
It
I am
started with
amazed
video
there's
games.
always something new. Did you hear what happened in Chile?
No.
Someone got murdered for Pokemon cards.
No fucking way.
Yeah,
I know when
Moist
one
Critical
Pokemon
talked
place in
about it.
Japan. I know there's like a Poke Center in Japan where a guy got arrested because he was borderline stalking a girl there that works there.
Ugh.
Oh yeah.
It's weird how all this like crazy shit just happens to coincide with Pokemon.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, just Pokemon fans just be normal.
The downward spiral began with the Vaporeon memes.
Well, it's not my fault that all the EV evolutions just seem to be
Fuckable.
Yeah, why they all
I'm
do
kind
it?
of for me it's Glaceon.
Have the courage.
And see John
Just know
Del
that
Rose.
Digimon did it first.
And see John Del Rose. I'm not afraid to admit it.
They keep cutting me
Did you
off.
hear that, Digny? Dash is a Pokephile.
They keep cutting me off. It's so bad that the dash, my timestamps dash. Why did you move on? My fucking timestamp. Why did you
Well-
move on? Now my timestamp.
Well, we had to continue on.
When did
Blame
you
the
stop
quarterings.
talking about this topic?
Okay, you want to start over?
I need to write down the timestamp.
If you want a good
1
gut-
hour, 11 minutes dead. And if it's not 11 minutes, someone's paying for it. But guys, keep talking. Otherwise, my signal will collapse.
Yeah,
All right,
in
yeah.
addition, just all these, there's just been burglaries everywhere. In the UK, no surprise. And even in good old Canada, there's been so many burglaries now.
Well, I know there's been burglaries in Canada. They just don't want to talk about it.
Mm.
Yeah, because there's certain people are doing it.
Racist.
Hey, don't
Well,
be
it's the
racist. We're on
truth, but-
YouTube.
This is true,
Yeah.
though.
All right. Galaxy, what do you think about the Pokemon card thing?
I think it's stupid. That's all I gotta say.
All right. Piggy?
Oh, this is just basic scalpers doing basic scalper shit. It's just crazy that this guy hid in a Best Buy and waited all day for the midnight release to try to do something. And what worries me, though, is that they might start cracking down on scalpers, and that will just be another power grab by the government to try to control the way we buy and purchase shit.
Oh, don't
Granted,
give them
this is
any
not in the
ideas.
U.S., this is in Pasadena, but...
Mhm.
Still crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, I fucking hate scalpers, but unfortunately, it's like that thing you can't really do anything about because then that could lead to some socialist communism bullshit.
Yeah, and they've already have some precautions, like in the vending machines. When you buy stuff, I think it'll say like sold out for a few minutes, so people don't wait around and
So people don't wait around, and then like a few minutes
buy
later,
again.
it'll be quote unquote in stock.
what does Endless mean about Logan Paul? Did he get involved in Pokemon scalping at one point?
not
Yes.
scalping, but he bought some like
He bought cards. He started
expensive ones.
hyping up Pokemon cards. It's sad because, you know, it's funny how we're talking about this with Pokemon, but this has been going on in Magic for God knows how long.
Doesn't it also go on in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Oh man,
And
I miss Yu-Gi-Oh being popular.
I don't. I for one do not miss 30-minute first turns.
Hey,
Oh,
do you know what I miss?
what, Digny?
Yeah.
Time stamp.
I was about to say, do you miss having an internet connection? It sounded like you were about to get
I
booted
can't
again.
make long statements in case the post office cuts off my Wi-Fi.
Wow. Okay.
Timestamps. Please carry on.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't think there's like much else to really say on this one.
I got one more thing. The events like this kind of help me understand things like the Salem witch trials. Like, I used to think, oh, how can people get this crazy? Well, now I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah. Well, it's funny
Oh.
because you've seen it firsthand with the whole like Mauricism thing, because it's basically like the exact opposite coin flip of the Salem witch
Oh,
trials.
hey guys, we're being raided. We're being raided
Ooh,
by
my
Kata.
host.
Hey, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very
Ada.
kind.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kata's
yes.
raiding us.
Interesting.
We appreciate
Nice.
you. Hopefully you're getting many bitches. Yeah, that's what Kata likes, right? Bitches? Bitches with feet.
We
Yeah.
hope you get the premium Pokemon cards, and you
Yep.
don't have to break into a
Nice.
Best Buy to get them.
Lots of honeys, nice soft feet.
Do you know what drives me nuts, guys?
Timestamps?
I'm sad now. Piguta stole my line.
I mean,
you
but
did a
no, every
joke.
time-
It's kind of like you said it twice already. You kind of gotta like change it up.
You've described me in a sentence. I don't do that.
Oh, I know what's missing. Clown sluts.
Oh,
Oh,
fucking
Yes, I
ever
did send
show-
it to him. I sent him the picture.
Does Disney
Clown
like furry
sluts.
clown sluts?
No,
Okay.
no, just clown sluts.
Okay.
They're gorgeous. They're gorgeous because do you know what makes a clown slut more gorgeous? The fact that they all scare Atreus.
That was gonna be the honkers.
Yes.
I thought it was the fact that they'd squeeze your balls like the fucking air horns.
Oh no.
Oh, please,
No.
please. You're getting him too excited.
No, we don't
I'm
want
gonna
any
have
of
to
that.
pull up the Decent Candles website again. There's like this website with it's just the shitty overpriced candles, but the whole idea is that they have like these really fucked up backstories to them.
Well, we appreciate everyone. We appreciate 60 people being here for a minute and then it immediately going back to 10. But
We started talking
appreciate
about
you being
Clussy.
here.
That's the problem.
Right.
Oh.
From my own perspective, I'm going to speak and then, yeah, I'm going to speak a long sentence and I'll probably cut off again. But this is not surprising. This whole situation is symptomatic of this crazed mindset of FOMO, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
As
FOMO.
opposed to HOMO, which half of this panel is. Okay. I gotta get this. I gotta get this card. I gotta get this Pokemon card so that in 30 years a special Pokemon card will sell for millions. Because that recently happened.
Well, this has technically been going on for a long time. If you remember what happened with the Thai plushies, I remember parents would destroy their kids' college funds just to buy all these Thai plushies in stock because they thought that they would sell for a lot more later down the line.
Oh, yeah, the Beanie Baby craze.
Yeah, the Beanie Babies. That's what they're called.
I was like 3, so I didn't even like know it was a big deal.
I was probably around like 5 or 3, but like I just remember seeing stories about it online because I'm terminally online.
So was this in the 80s or the 90s?
It was the
90s.
90s, late. It was the late 90s, early 2000s, I think.
Yeah.
So
But I
before
think Beanie Babies
9/11.
have been around for a long time. Yeah.
Oh
I've
yeah,
seen a
I
couple.
remember Beanie Babies were really big late 90s, early 2000s.
They were big for like 3 years, and then they just immediately stopped being big.
Yeah, like the Clone Wars or an American presidency. It's here and then it's gone, quite frankly. And yes, we're padding out for time on this topic so that I can fill out an 8-minute time slot for my timestamp.
Oh, if that's the case, can I go to the bathroom real quick?
Of course you can go to the
Yeah,
bathroom. Hey, piss on this show. We might as well.
Oh, we'll
At
get
this
good
point.
content from it.
I'll be right
Hey,
back too.
hey, do you
Streaming on
think,
Pornhub?
hey, do you think Meat Canyon would flag our video if we watched like his Pokemon card scalping parody?
You think he'd flag our
I don't
video if
know.
I pissed?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but I've never, guys, you know me. You know me as a cartoon and you know me as a physical being, right? I have never, ever broken any copyright rules. Ever. Been doing this now for nearly 5 years. Never broken a copyright rule because I don't use third-party material. I just don't. Never have, really. The only rules I've ever broken is, oh, you said something too offensive about a group of people. It's like, well, they're thin-skinned. They are. And it's sad. But one of my most favorite Meat Canyon, or Canyon, however you pronounce it, videos, Dash, is how Hassan Piker and Asmongold are the same being because they are.
I still need to watch that one, but I know that was the newest one he did.
Yeah, it's symptomatic of how both sides endlessly perpetuate the culture war to financially benefit in terms of fortune and to gain clout through fame.
And it's
Yeah.
funny how Asmon takes it better than Hassan does.
He does.
Oh yeah, Hassan is so sensitive. I mean, he's getting into fights with fucking Shoehead, like over
and
like
Jabba and
simple.
Preach.
Yeah, because all he can do is fight a woman. He's a Western Turk. Beating women is their hobby at this point, okay? Quite frankly, folks, I want people to realize that those people who try their best to be the change they want to see and to make our culture better, they're the ones who are given the most flack. I mean, look at the Rippaverse. Look at Eric July. Look at the work he's trying to do to highlight the problem, find solutions, and be the change that we want to see. And you see all the people condemning him. Well, most of the people condemning him don't want the culture war to end because they want to get famous and fortuitous off of it.
And they
I
like
do
having
find
power over people.
That too.
No,
And
Eric
Hassan
July.
craves that power, whereas
Eric July-
Asmongold doesn't really care. Go on, Dash.
Yeah, Eric July put his money where his mouth is, like at his own expense, and it like paid off. Now he gets deals with like Angel Studios. He gets deals with like, he got a new deal recently. I saw it trending.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he
with a
has
book-
had
book-
quite a
book
bit of
publisher, yeah.
success. And is just really like he got a lot of resistance, even from like people you would think who would be sympathetic to him.
I remember, so long ago now, lifetime ago practically. I remember being on a panel show with Eric July, during the SNH days, and I am rare in that I talk to people and collaborate with people who are pro and anti Rippaverse. So I looked at it from a far more neutral perspective. I admire what the man has done. He's done far better than I would have in his position. But there is always a place for those to be in favor of it, and there's always a place for those to be critical of it. I just find it very interesting that we don't often support things that be the change that we want to see, because that would put us in a position that content creators haven't been in before.
Well,
quite
one of the
frankly.
things when I started my channel, I didn't know like what direction I was going to go in. But what I wanted to say is I wanted to cover like culture war stuff, but I didn't want to be like totally reliant on it. And unfortunately, a
I want
lot
to be
of
like a quartering.
yeah, like that's the quartering mistake where like you don't know how to pivot like once things actually do get better. Like me,
Hey,
I can just keep playing video games and people
Well,
will
the
come
problem with
watch.
the biggest problem the quartering has is that he broke one of the, apart from the flagging, which really does break a rule of content creation, one of the big unwritten rules of content creation that you don't break is that you don't pay people to be on your show. You don't. If I had to pay everyone here to be on this show, I'd be bankrupt. And that's exactly what he is going through. That man is up to his eyeballs in debt. That's why he's rattled. That's why he's freaking out, because the walls are closing in on him. Why?
I
Because
just
he
thought it's because
paid
at one point he wore the Sonichu medallion and he doesn't want to tell
that
anyone.
too.
Oh,
Yeah, no,
that's fucking
no.
medallion strikes
Yeah.
again.
Yep.
Yeah,
Even
it's
ordinary gamers was affected.
yeah. I don't even want to look at that
Yeah.
thing. Never mind, put it on. But the issue is, though, to my knowledge, he's still paying people to be on his show.
That is
You know, the
desperate.
two ladies.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just desperate, but he did that on the basis that his gains would only get better. And you never do that. You never plan for the best. You always plan for the worst. And quite frankly, very few content creators pay people to be on their shows because we don't have the fucking capital to do so. I would
Yeah, that's
love
why
to
I don't
pay
have a
people to
VTuber
be
model.
on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like people like come to like our shows either because they like the host or like because they want to get a name for themselves.
Yes.
It's benefitly mutually beneficial.
Yeah,
That's
and
the-
I've always subscribed to the idea of keep costs as low as possible, as close to zero as possible. As you can tell, because my internet comes from the post office. Okay, folks,
Yeah.
right? And that by doing that, it doesn't matter how much you get, even if it's just a little, through donations, through sponsorships, through a myriad of other ways, including selling blood coffee that's not FDA approved. But you're still getting more in than is coming out. And that's what the quartering has gotten so wrong. And that's why he's crashing and burning. Hopefully he's buying Pokemon cards.
Yeah, I hear they're gonna go up I hear they're gonna skyrocket 2 or 3 years from now, just like the Beanie Babies.
Yep, but look, there are so many examples: the quartering, Nick Recader, Boogie, Killer Keemstar,
I still think Boogie's Crash Out
DSP.
is my favorite.
Yeah, you've got Chris Chan, famously, infamously. There are so many creators who have gone, for lack of a better term, batshit crazy doing this.
Well, I
I've
think
gone
Chris Chan
crazy.
was always been batshit
Well, yeah,
crazy.
he was always like crazy and
Even I have gone crazy. But considering the circumstances I've gone through as a content creator, years of hard work, effort, consistency, and dedication, all of that wiped out in a single moment. Please forgive me for going batshit crazy and toxically venting on my fellow creators. Right? I know it's not your fault, but I can't help it. It's my lived experience, damn it.
But you're
This
not.
is
You're
why
not.
I call you gay.
it's his truth, you guys. It's his truth. It doesn't matter if it's imaginary or
I was
Yeah,
gonna say.
It's
I
what
was
he
gonna say you're not.
perceives as the truth, so it's obviously right.
It's my truth. I gave all of my shows away to come back from the dead. No
So I
other
can call everyone
creator,
gay.
no other creator has gone through what I've gone through. When actually, no, seriously, when was the last time a creator literally gave all their shows away in
it's
an
never been
exchange?
done. Never
It's
been
never
done
been
before.
done. Never been done. And I think there's a reason for that, Dash, because I think it would break a lot of people giving away what they built in exchange for rising again. Because they just can't do it. Do you know what we can do? We can move to our final topic. That's
Oh,
what we
yes.
can do. Now it's time for timestamps. 1 hour, 29 minutes,
30 seconds.
and 29 seconds. There we go. Our final topic, ladies and gentlemen, is Mimi gets arrested as UK cracks down on problematic artwork. Courtesy of Chibi Reviews. Last week's show, someone came into the chat before the show started and is like, "Don't trust Chibi Reviews. He's into kitty stuff." It's like, oh, okay.
Well, now
I
we get
mean,
to
that
talk
was-
about it.
But that was false, though.
I
So-
don't look. A lot of things on the internet are
Yeah.
false. Like
Yeah, I
half
was
of
about to
this
say,
panel being.
Is it your first
Uh,
day? First time?
No, I'm
Yeah.
just saying that just
There are a
getting
lot of-
kind of annoyed if people
But
are, like,
Galaxy, you know as well as I do,
doing
there are a lot of
accusations.
falsehoods on the internet. One of them is that half of this panel is gay. Now that's not a complete
Yeah,
lie,
gee, I wonder who perpetuated that.
right?
You
Half
see,
of
the
this
mystery
panel
is figuring
part
out
of
which half is gay.
the more accurate way to put it is half of this panel is LGBT. Okay, would you accept that as truthful, Dash?
I guess so.
Say
Yes.
no. Say no.
So half of this panel is gay. So it's not a false.
No, I
straight-
walked
It's,
right into that one.
trans. Yeah.
This is why I said say no.
Right. Courtesy of Chibi Reviews. Hey, for all I know, Chibi Reviews is homosexual. I don't know. But you never know. Courtesy of Chibi Reviews, quote, "Important breaking news. Artists are now getting arrested by UK police. You got a license to be a ponce?" Mimi was arrested by UK police for possession of her artwork. Well, of course it was her artwork alone. Why do you need to add that on? According to
For
her
dramatic
bail
effect.
conditions. Yeah,
Because-
probably.
Yeah.
She is now forced to only make safe for work artwork, or she will violate her bail. Now, courtesy of Mimi, quote,
This is the only thing
"Good
she's forced to do.
afternoon."
But go ahead.
Thank you, Dash. I mean, Galaxy. You all look the same to me. All you cartoons look alike. Quote, "Good afternoon, Bun Buns. Severe apologies for the absence. I'm in the
Sincere.
slammer. Mimi has a long story to tell. On Hitler's birthday, Mimi was arrested by the UK police for possession of her artwork and her artwork alone. She's currently on bail pending the outcome of a criminal investigation into her accounts and activities. All of her devices were seized as a result of the arrest. As a result of her bail conditions, Mimi had to dox herself with a new account and is required to use a header name on her new account that her bail officers have agreed to. The account in question is at Mimi Yabai _, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Per
It's the same
her
as her
bail
normal account.
conditions.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
where are
Just
you
with
getting
one eye.
this?
What do you mean? It's right there.
Good. Oh yeah.
Tweet.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
he literally got to the
The
account in
tweet that,
question part.
that you're showing right now,
I
right? This is
misread
your
it. I
screen.
misread it. Like
You
I
need to
didn't read.
read.
Yeah, I didn't realize she was talking in the third person.
Jesus Christ, I thought I didn't read.
I'm sorry, but no. Dash is right and wrong. Mimi doesn't have control of her primary account. It's a third party that's doing this on her behalf.
Really? No way. That
Yeah,
that is. Oh,
See,
No,
look,
that is-
that's why it's
Yeah,
in
she's not allowed
the
to be
third
on there right
person.
now.
Yeah, that's why it's in the
Yeah,
third
it's in
person.
third person, yeah.
So
But
Dash
you-
is right and wrong at the same time. Don't worry, folks. We can get past that, right? I didn't say April 20th. I literally said on Hitler's birthday, but we all do crazy things in the heat of the moment. Per her bail conditions, her activities for the foreseeable future have to be safe for work and fully transparent in order to prevent a breach of her bail conditions. Mimi apologizes sincerely from the bottom of her heart for letting all of you down and for disappointing you in such a way. That wasn't her. That was just the bail officer being like,
Yeah.
say this or we
Yeah.
fire.
that is. I don't know. I'm just like. I'm trying not to like attack the UK while at the same time just being appalled at like just how politically corrupt this. It just baffles me.
Well,
It baffles.
It would help me. Sorry to interrupt you, Dash, but as a British person who now lives in Israel because it's safer to be firebombed by Iranians than live in the UK, it would go a long way to find the specific piece of artwork that led to the arrest.
I don't know. I assume that it was pornographic. I pretty soon, since we're talking about safe for work art, they probably think her character is a loli or something,
Yeah,
and they mistook it as.
Well, that's the most likely outcome. All I'm saying is, guys, and I think you all understand the mindset here. We would have more of an understanding of the reasoning behind this if we had a specific example. I know that's not how criminal cases work. I studied law for 6 years, from the age of 13 to 19, right? They don't openly disclose things on that level, especially if it's, because the concept of criminal artwork exists in the United Kingdom. You can be criminally liable for making a piece of artwork, not in making it, but in distributing it. So say you draw something problematic, like a graffiti. You guys have graffiti in your part of the world, right? So if someone drew a giant cock on a wall, purely as an example, of course, right? The fact that that cock has been drawn is not the criminal aspect. It's the fact that it's being openly distributed, if you guys get my drift. Now, in certain cases, it is a crime in that of itself to even have the material, especially when it comes to kiddos and sex stuff, okay? But in most instances, it's the distribution that's the criminal act rather than the creation.
Which makes sense. We've seen this before, like when one guy shared an LGBT meme where it's like the 4 arrows shape a swastika. He didn't even make it. He just retweeted it and was arrested.
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah. The problem, this is the thing people outside the United Kingdom need to understand. As someone who lives there, well, not lives, lived there, past tense. I'm getting my tenses all mixed up. It's not the act in itself that's criminal. It's the publicization of the fact. For example, diddling children. I know, we took a very dark road there. Doing that, if you're a certain religious group, it's perfectly fine. It's only a problem when it gets revealed. You get my drift?
Yeah, they always care more about fiction than they do actual like real crimes that are actually happening.
Although, and I'll tell you why. There's a
not,
reason for that. But sorry, Galaxy, but there's a reason for that, right? The building isn't blowing up if Mimi's getting arrested. Sorry to take it down a dark avenue, folks, because this is supposed to be a happy-go-lucky show. But there's a reason certain people don't get arrested and thrown in the slammer straight away, because their community will rally together and burn a city down.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Well, on top of that, it's easier to go after someone doing drawings than someone committing an actual crime, because the latter will put up a fight.
Oh yeah, they'll more than put up a fight, Neku, and that's why I know for a fact that this lady would have been perfectly safe doing what she did if she had an army of animated people burning down Birmingham.
Oh, I'm just imagining an army of YouTubers, VTubers just descending onto the
yeah, because that's about to get fucked up by the Lollipop Guild.
It's quite literally a strength in numbers mindset. And look, this happens on a local level. It also happens on a national level. There have been some instances, guys, in the UK of someone getting arrested not even in a minority community, even in a majority community. They try to arrest someone, and then 1,000 people, right, from the local community just swarm the officers and deal with them. This has been a problem in the United Kingdom for a long time.
Well, in fact,
And it's-
I have a great comparison, a one-for-one comparison of how backwards this is. So, if you make like draw incest porn, that is illegal. And yet, Keir Starmer defends incest, like actual incest. Because he tried stopping a law to make it illegal.
Yeah.
Well, what demographic does incest the most?
Muslims.
We know, yeah.
The royal family, basically.
Them too. Yeah, Muslims and royals, two of the most powerful groups in the United Kingdom. But I think the reaction to this would also be very interesting, Dash, if you scroll down. Can you scroll down?
Yes.
You do that? There you go. There we go. It's very interesting.
I'm sorry, hold up. Go back up to the top comment. Did someone bring up NATO?
Yes.
Yeah.
What the fuck? WTF? Yeah. NATO exists to defend free countries. The UK should not be allowed in it.
Well, that's not true.
Did this guy get hacked? Because like he's someone that doesn't match the topic at all.
No, it doesn't. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know, but NATO does not exist to defend free countries.
No, it was literally made to be a stopgap for
okay, well, ignoring that one, since this is all based on people I follow, they're all coming up first.
Oh.
Here's one appropriate for this show. Spooky Gamer Wolf Dud.
God.
The UK, where you can get a slap on the wrist if you are young children stab people or attack anyone. Why? Also, the UK, when you get arrested for things you say on Twitter, if they're rude or for a fictional op, cops are as bad as the invaders are.
I want to make a very interesting point here, folks, because Dash, you've known me for a while, right?
Yeah.
You've known me as a cartoon and as a person. You know that for most of my time as a creator, I was based in the UK, right? I've said some pretty crazy things. I've done some pretty crazy things. I've offended a lot of people, right? Have I ever even had so much as a knock on the door from the British authorities?
No.
No. And there's a reason for that. Very specific reason for that.
Well, I thought it was because she mostly covered American stuff. So that's why you didn't.
That's one part of it, Galaxy. But all of these British creators. Oh, I'd love to say that, but it got to a point where millions of people were condemning me for calling a black company a certain word. But the issue at hand is all of these British creators, and I'm assuming this artist is a British-based individual, otherwise it's going to open up Pandora's box. They all have a majority British audience. All of them. I have never had a majority British audience. Never. Because I know, because I've studied law for a good portion of my life, if you have most of your support overseas, then the British authorities don't give a damn. They don't give a damn. They don't have a problem with what you say, as long as most of your supporters are not in the country. That's why I haven't... Yeah, well, it's crazy because, Dash, they honestly think that a creator, say a British content creator has millions of supporters overseas, but very few in the United Kingdom. They honestly believe that creator doesn't have any power in the British discourse, which could not be further from the truth. In fact, they'd have more power because their audience is foreign.
Yep. Absolutely. That's very short-sighted. It's just you would have to be pretty out there and not a normal thinking person to even think any of this is sane or fair. What's doing arresting VTubers for drawing their own characters.
Yeah. And you think it's going to stop there? Wait until the American government colludes with the British government in the 2030s to ship Americans overseas to go into overseas prisons for breaking, say, for example, British online hate speech laws.
And the thing is, there is a possibility of that, because the thing is, it's we've seen, for example, in Florida, if you're living there and you're making shit posts, the police will come to your home, especially if your posts happen to include anything about Israel.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
crazy for Florida of all places.
Oh no,
Well,
no,
the-
it's
the
not
precedent-
crazy.
Well, no, it's not crazy.
the-
It's just two
The
different sides of the
precedent
geek.
set. Quite frankly, the precedent is set.
Yeah, that was
And-
not good.
And I want to make this clear to everyone here, right now. Creative freedom is gone. There's nowhere to run. Nowhere to run. There is no safe haven anymore. And looking at this more and more as vote Labour trends on Dash's X, don't vote Labour. They're bad. They're very bad.
Vote restore.
Now,
Yeah,
is that being ironic, or is this like a shill thing coming?
it's a chill thing.
Do not.
Yeah,
vote
it's a shill
Labour.
thing.
I read the tweet. It
Well-
says, "Do not vote Labor," but they just
Right.
the algorithm just picked up vote Labor and just made that the.
Oh, lol.
But yeah,
But
we've seen
this
the
is gonna-
slippery slope going on in the UK. Last year, they banned choking porn, and even 2 years ago, someone got arrested for having Simpsons porn.
It's the Simpsons. The fucking Simpsons.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they'd be arrested just because who would watch Simpsons porn?
Oh, that's true. Like, who is watching The Simpsons anymore?
But yeah,
Well, I
like,
was
they
talking
just
about
keep
porn, but the
going
show
down
too.
the list of what's acceptable pornography, and yeah, they've proven it's just going to keep getting worse. They're
Yeah,
not stopping.
I don't think people realize just how many Brits generally want X to be banned.
Oh
They
yeah.
consider X to be a cesspool of dangerous misinformation.
No, but
This
the thing is,
platform-
it's not surprising that they like that, because ultimately the issue is the way Brits perceive things is very bizarre. And it's the reason why things in the UK compared to anywhere else in the world is much worse, because they just have this weird mindset of, if we deem something is okay, even if it's the worst thing in the world, that's fine. And if we deem anything egregious, it needs to go.
Yeah, and it's quite and this existed before mass immigration, mind you.
I'd like
Britain
to
has
bring up
always
back in. I'd like to bring up back in high school. We would read these those dystopian books. Like I think the one we read specifically was like Brave New World, where it was like this crazy like effed up dystopia. But like one of the key points brought up into it was the fact that the people willingly wanted that dystopia to happen, and I think it took place in Britain, or whatever they called it in there. It was either Britain or something else. I probably have my dystopia
people-
books mixed up.
the thing about Brave New World is, as a story, it exists because the people wanted a Brave New World. It's in the name.
Yeah.
They wanted a structured hierarchy of people to suit their own roles or pre-assigned roles, because before that it was an age of chaos. So that was the idea behind Brave New World. And how did that Brave New World get stopped? An outsider that
An outsider came in
and caused the chaos. And that's the danger. All of you here are dangerous, extreme outsiders to the Brave New World being made. Right? It quite literally, on the Muslim issue in the UK, it's very similar to that of a pressure group. They are a massive pressure group. And not just in terms of legislation, but in terms of action. And if you cause problems for them, they will cause problems for you. It's very simple. It's how Islam has always operated, and it's going to operate the same in the United States. I'll tell you one thing the UK isn't experiencing. Muslims aren't building a brand new city in Britain. They're building one in Texas right now.
Oh.
They're building a settlement that will become a town, ultimately become a city, and they're aiming for that city in Texas to be one of the biggest cities in the United States. And yeah, I know New York's a very big place, folks, but underestimate Islam at your own peril, right? And that's why you've got this contradictory mindset, this double think in action, guys. Because creatively doing this is bad, but actively doing this isn't bad.
So backwards.
Well, it's backwards if you don't understand the mindset of the pressure group. Let's face facts.
Well, it
Mimi
just
doesn't have-
sounds like, you know, they just willingly like surrender just because they're literally afraid of the group they're trying to appease, and you know, in the meantime, criminalizing like their own people. It's, you know, I think it's absolutely disgusting.
Just like I said before, if Mimi's supporters burnt down a city, she wouldn't be in custody.
Yeah, no, because that's the thing. It's like they only take action against people that they know won't retaliate. Like, for example, let's look at this. There was a female police officer that got attacked by immigrants. They had a man arrested. And then the Muslim community, as they always do, got violent, and they released the man. But if you now make a tweet, oh my, you arrested, you taken out of your home. Because if you happen to be a white person saying something that the government perceives as bad, well, you will be held criminally responsible.
And the danger, but that's the great danger, Damien. The reason they stamp down on potential dissent is because they don't want another pressure group as big as the Muslim one making enforcement impossible. That's why they crack down on this artist. Because if this artist built a power base of supporters in the United Kingdom who could actually take action, they wouldn't be able to enforce it. If I say, if you do this to me, I'll have my supporters burn down the city, they won't touch me. It boils down to the left-wing mindset of power. I have more power than you, therefore I'm above the law. It's as simple as that. It's how it works. And that's why, that's why collective action is very important. Go ahead, Damien.
No, but that's ultimately the reason why the right fails to do anything of like significance, is because we don't want to commit to that same level of collectivism.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something very important, guys. Muslims are not left-wing.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not.
They're not socialists. They're not liberals. They are.
They cover their chicks up. And they stone gay people.
Yeah, they're so right-wing. They're like Targaryen right-wing. They fuck their own family members, right? That's left-wing. That's not left-wing. That's as bad as right-wing, as it gets. You're going so right-wing, you're becoming a royalist, having sex with your cousin, okay? Because that's what they do. They've done it since the dawn of their existence. As sick as it is, you have to admire the principle of a people who just won't change, because that is who they are, for better or for worse. So you want to save this lady? Well, you've got to crack down on the crackdown. That requires collective action, and conservative-minded people are allergic to collective action.
Yeah, they're like.
And there was a time. What was that, Pigu?
Yeah, they sort of like being like independent. Like they want to believe that like they have their own thoughts and like that they're the ones in control of their lives. So because of that, they're terrified, like enter a collectivist mindset.
Well, here in America, like, you know, we're taught that, like, you know, or like traditionally we were taught that, like, you know, that the system could like correct like anything, but we've seen like through recent events how the gears of a system can get corroded and even like disjointed.
No. So Dash, I'll just say this. The thing with the system is that everyone needs to believe in it. The problem in the US is that you have a small number of Americans that believe in the Constitution, and then everyone else looks at it as negotiable.
Just a piece of paper.
I know.
The
it's very apparent there are people who are even in American politics that don't believe in the Constitution, don't believe on the values the country was founded on, that were literally the core of my history classes in school. They literally and now I find out people are having the opposite education of that. So I have no idea how I got through schooling and didn't like end up at these self-hating like
It's probably
and the
where you were
biggest-
born and raised.
yeah.
Well, the
Yeah.
biggest proponents of cousin marriage historically were Christians and then Muslims. Folks have got to understand that during the origins of Islam, it was essentially a progressive form of Christianity. That's how Islam combined with conquests of the Middle East and North Africa, that's how Islam spread across the world like a plague in its early years, because it was essentially a more progressive form of Christianity, like with the Prophet DLC. It's like you've got a main game, guys, and then you add a DLC. That's Islam.
Then you have to patch out the bugs.
Yeah, and we never improve on it. Well, you talk about patching up the bugs, Pigu.
Oh,
They
yeah,
haven't
but no, the
patched a
bugs are
bug
always
in
there.
14. They haven't patched a bug in 1400 years. Okay,
That's the game.
if Islam were a game developer, it would be Bethesda Game Studios.
Bugs for
hey,
features.
Yeah, Digny. Looks like some people are getting upset in the comments.
I interact with Muslim content creators, right? I actually work with these people, just like I talk about the gays. Do you know why? Because I work with them. Fucking idiots. You think I'm not going to talk about a group of people I don't know anything about? I talk about Neku's people, artists, furries, and gays. I talk about how, they make fisting videos. Do you know why I talk about that? Because he actually made one. Check out Neku's X page for more on that. You think I
The
wouldn't?
fisting video lives rent-free in your head.
Yeah, because it's burned into my mind. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Well,
But the same applies to other topics and people I talk about. Right? You look at the origins of Christianity. Working on the Sabbath is a death sentence. Committing adultery is a death sentence. Right? Having sex before marriage is a death sentence. And a lot of people in the Middle Ages were getting wiped out because of the Christian mindset. Now, Christianity has changed a lot in 2,000 years. I think people need to realize that. We've gone from Christ is king to give me money, give me money, give me money.
Well, and that's kind of the core of the issue here is Christianity has changed over hundreds of years. Islam has basically stayed the same.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
it
Exactly.
has.
And as much as you can condemn that, I admire the principle of a belief system that has not changed at all and will never change. The only change it will have is when it is dead. And I admire
Yeah,
that.
instead everyone
He-
else changes around on their behalf.
Yeah, like other people would have to like either reform or drop like at least like like
Because of the
whatever.
fear.
I will tell you this, guys, right? If we actually lived in a Christian country 1,000 years ago today,
Oh, we'd all be
this
dead.
lady
We'd be
wouldn't have been arrested. She would have been put to death or burned at the stake.
Like half of us
even-
would not be here right now.
In fact, all of you wouldn't be here right now. I only do this for practicality's sake. But even Christianity of 400 years ago would have burnt this panel at the stake for being weird abominations, right?
Yeah.
For goodness sake, it was a crime punishable by death
Well,
for
I mean,
anyone to wear a fabric or to wear clothes with more than one fabric in Christianity, in the Christian faith. It's right there. It's crazy, but it changed, it developed, it evolved. You could argue it improved, but the Muslims don't do that. Now, that's not a problem when they're in their own lands, but we have to consider outside of Arabia. All Muslim countries outside of Arabia weren't originally theirs. They won them, mainly from Christians. But I just want to make it pretty clear, right here, right now, it's not these groups that's the problem. It's governments that allow these injustices to happen.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
in this case, the British government, right?
Yeah.
All people are supposed to be equal under the law. That's basic law 101. If I kill someone on purpose and Dash kills someone on purpose, under the same circumstances, we're serving the same sentence. Hopefully not in the same prison, because my asshole needs
You better
protecting.
hold on to that soap, Digny.
Oh dear. But that's the problem. The problem isn't these groups doing what they want. The problem is we have a legal apparatus, not just in the UK, but across the Western world, that isn't enforcing its laws upon everyone equally.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is the unequal justice is definitely one of the like biggest problems. Like it is in America, and it is like, like, yeah, I'd say like the whole Western world has this problem. Like you see all these like politicians and stuff like abusing power, like using it like against citizens for things that were okay like 10 years ago.
That's why it's called two-tier cure.
Yeah,
I think they were also
quite
just as
frankly.
illegal 10 years ago. They just didn't start enforcing it until now. But then again, that's just me.
I, for one, am not going to be lectured on the principles of Islam from a guy named Joe. Okay?
Or Carl.
Or Carl.
Hey.
Okay? if your name is Mohammed bin Salman, then I'll talk to you, right? But no, your name is Joe. Joe
Like, I have
these nuts. Folks.
I have like a Muslim friend too, and he really wants to leave like the country.
Yeah, because he understands what his people are like and that they will never change. He knows how his people operate. That's why he wants to leave, not realizing that they're gonna come along with him before too long.
Yeah, I think we should move on from this topic though. I'm gonna like steer it in.
I'll just wrap up by saying, right, it's wrong that Mimi got arrested. It's also wrong that we're blaming a certain religious group instead of a government for actively splitting the legal system in two.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it is like the government's like that is doing this. Like, like they. All right.
Yeah. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for our future plans segment. And speaking of the future, folks, my future is to keep on going and keep on growing. I've done more as a cartoon in the past 6-7 months, 6-7, than the most viewers would do in their entire lives as potential creators. And this is my second time around the sun. Dash, can you make us big now? You can get rid of the...
I forgot. I was so enveloped in our last topic that, like, I forgot to.
It's now time for Shia Digny, folks. Shia Digny. An actual Muslim made all of my Digny variants, just to let you know. Right?
That's right.
I did hire a Jewish guy to do it, but he overcharged me. So...
And I think he just ended up making the Muslim do it anyways.
Yeah, and he did it for free, which is fantastic. But future plans, ladies and gentlemen, we'll start off with Dash Attack. What are your future plans? Is one of them putting a shirt on?
No.
Never.
No, it isn't. But yeah, so it looks like I'll be playing Pragmata for the first time tonight. It came today. I got my copy, just got to install the game. I ran a poll, see if what would you rather me play? The new Sony Saros game or Pragmata? Pragmata won the poll exponentially last time I checked.
Game?
Oh, the Saros. It's a roguelite Returnal Lovecraft thing.
It's basically like a gender swap Returnal, basically, because you're playing as a guy instead of a girl. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's basically a rehash of Returnal, just a different.
God, I hate the modern games industry. They made Lovecraft boring.
Lol.
Yeah.
I want to share my screen.
Yeah, so I'll be on with Levistro also tomorrow for Dragoncast, so be sure to catch there. Oh, what's this?
Courtesy of Cancel This Podcast, waiting for, we do not say his name here, so Digny. to use AI to turn this into a poster for Dash Attack's Old White Road. There you go.
Oh God!
Well, I'm
It's
not either of those
Hulkling
characters.
and Wiccan, the two. They're gay in Marvel.
Yeah.
Oh, Marvel!
Wasn't there like a Marvel thing that
This
was
is their
scrapped?
pride. This is their Marvel. This is their pride
Yeah.
issue. Oh,
So-
here comes the
so-
cringe.
Raid
So
on
Neku-
Ultron. Are they gonna raid his asshole?
You got You've got Dash, Neku, Damien, and Galaxy Red.
I'm
Told you,
just,
I'm not in
I'm the
that
Hulk. I'm just
told you
so
I
you
am
guys
not
know
in
I'm
that.
the Hulk, and I guess like
I'm gonna end up being the black guy, aren't I?
Oh no. No. I just wanted to
I'm none
share
of them.
that because
So
I found it funny. Do you know what I find funnier? The fact that Galaxy has to point out every single time, no, I'm not gay. No. Stop
Come on,
saying
Galaxy.
that.
It's the current year. It's 2026.
Right.
It's all right.
Yeah. As long as you don't take it up the ass, it isn't gay, okay?
I mean, not right now because Digny's dressed up like a Muslim, but
Yeah. All right, then. Let's find a new Digny variant to pass over the stick to Galaxy. So what are your future plans, Galaxy?
I'm waiting to take. There you go. I was waiting to change your avatar. Anyway, yeah. Well, I'm not doing anything tonight, but tomorrow I'll be playing more. Like I said, Breath of Fire 2. I'm getting kind of. I don't know if I'm actually getting close to the end yet because it's kind of like maybe more in the middle of the game. So yeah. Yeah, we're gonna do that, and then I have my schedule out Sunday, and next week I'm gonna be like going to stream a lot longer for each of my streams, so that way I can just so I can get back to getting back in for the creator program stuff.
Excellent. Well, best of luck to you there, Galaxy. We appreciate you for being here. How about you, Piggy boy? What are your future plans?
I believe later today I'm going to be, instead of playing like an RPG or like a old platformer, I'm gonna play something new. Well, I say new, but I think it came out like 3 years ago. I've kind of been on an indie binge, so I was thinking later tonight I would stream Pseudo Regalia. I was about to say Pseudo Gorelia for some reason. Speaking of fucking furries, but yeah, I think it'd be a one-off because when I checked my old file, it looks like I beat it in like 5 hours. So I feel like that's not going to be like a multi-part. And then one day, maybe once in a blue moon, Final Fantasy XIV Part 2 will come out probably after the bombs fall. But until then, you should stay tuned for that.
Well, you can always punish yourself and play Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, that is true. I could play the fucking boy band game.
Or you can play the best Devil May Cry game Square Enix has ever produced, Final Fantasy 16.
Yes. You see, that was also made by Yoshi P.
Defender 16.
Yeah.
Yes, that was also made by Yoshi P, who took his old strategy of 14, which is take World of Warcraft and slap a Final Fantasy title on it, and did it with Devil May Cry instead.
Yeah, those side quests, some of them were pretty like, oh my god, you really just made MMO quests in a single player game.
Well, that's what 14 is. What are you talking about? Let's not beat around the fucking bush here.
They should have hired Yoshi P to make the next Dragon Age game. So thank you for that, Pigu. Nice to have you here, and you're always welcome back. How about you, Damien?
Right,
what are your future plans?
Damien?
Being gay?
Damien.
Okay.
Yes.
How about you, Neku? What are your
Oh,
future
sorry, I didn't catch my name. Sorry.
Oh, Damien. What is it with this panel and being retarded on at least one occasion?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Techni. Forgive me. I
Okay.
humbly beseech you.
Well, just keep away from me. What are your future plans, Damien?
My future plans is obviously to record my next video for next week. It'll be talking about how, for some weird reason, always the people that find issue with sexualization of women in video games happen to either be women or gay men. It's very concerning. And then I'll be
Mostly ugly women.
Oh yeah, no. Sometimes they are good looking, which is also weird because it's like it's just a fictional character. And then aside from that, I'll be streaming Baldur's Gate tomorrow, and then doing a D&D stream on Sunday.
Which Baldur's
Good.
Gate?
Baldur's Gate 3, unfortunately.
Ooh. Yeah, it's the
Okay,
only
so
game.
the thing about Baldur's Gate 3 being woke is that you don't have to be woke in that game. You could choose to be an evil piece of shit, but still.
But I
It has
can't be a
bear
racist
fucking in
piece
it.
of shit, you know?
It has bear fucking in it.
You know, we
Okay.
always just end up going back to the furry shit, don't we?
Yeah, we do. We
Didn't
do.
you see
That's
the furry?
the modern world we live in.
Lol.
Look, it's a good job we didn't talk about the boys and the fact that there's a scene of Homelander talking to a dog about sex. Okay.
What the hell, man?
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
That show just gets weirder and weirder.
So furries
And then-
really have taken over the industry, huh?
And the
Jewish.
reason
I mean, they had
And-
actual like cock vor in The Boys season
oh
3.
yeah.
Yeah, there are two scenes of it. They're like dream sequences for the dog, who has this Homelander toy that he constantly has sexual relations with. And the reason, the official reason they did that twice was because the dog passed away a year ago. It died.
So to honor its memory, they have him.
Yeah.
Okay.
They wanted
What the-
wanted the dog to be more prominently featured. That's why you're looking at it from the dog's perspective. It's a dream sequence, and you have Homelander with a turkey leg, and then he bends over and says "fuck me" a bunch of times.
What the fuck?
Apparently, it was to pay tribute to the dog character.
Yeah, they need to
who,
play that at the
died
dog's
last year.
funeral.
Oh,
They should
Yeah.
play that at the dog's funeral.
that is
Mhm.
Like as you're
also-
walking up to
that
the.
is a messed up way to honor a dog, is having them like screw
Yeah.
Homelander in live action.
Well,
Yeah, as you walk up to the
Well,
casket,
I
you
don't
look
think
at
I've
the,
actually seen
you look
it.
at the poor pooch. Look at the
Well,
poor
the
pooch,
great-
but then you look right above it. There's like a laptop that just shows like.
No, The Boys can get
Bestiality
pretty
porn.
graphic, so I don't know how much
Yeah.
they showed or didn't show.
well, let's just say Anthony Starr, he needs those paychecks, man.
Oh, I mean, hey, he's probably making good money on this season, and it's amazing he's turning down like the ever playing Wesker, even though he's like the perfect like facial cast for the character.
Well, I think, and then we'll get to Neku's future plans. I think the reason for that is Resident Evil as a film franchise kind of killed a lot of people's careers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't even. I don't think we even covered. We were going to talk
Resident
about the
Evil
new
trailer?
Resident Evil
No,
movie.
we
No,
never
wait, we
did.
did. We
Yeah,
did
we don't
talk
do it.
about it. We did talk about it.
It's just, guys, there are certain franchises that you don't touch because they can kill people's careers. The Doom movie nearly
Oh my
killed
God.
Carl Urban and The Rock's careers.
It did have a really good part at the end, though. I'll give him that.
Hmm.
But other than that, the rest of that movie was just dog shit.
Some projects, if they really go wrong, can kill an actor's career. That's why That's why
Just
they.
look at Kid
don't-
Anakin.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, exactly. They don't want to
poor
take
Jake
risks with
Lloyd
their
went
careers.
insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Or
You know who
Peter.
hasn't gone insane though? Neku. Have you recovered from your sore throat and cold, Neku?
Yes, I have. In fact,
Ah.
I'm good enough for my DJ gig tomorrow.
Oh, nice. Where you
Ah,
performing?
See, look.
Down in Seattle.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
I always hate driving into that place, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Well, it's better than walking.
Yeah, I mean, it could be worse.
I'm-
I could be driving on Florida interstates.
Oof.
I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but as soon as your cold and your sore throat gets better, you're going back to work.
Yeah, welcome to America.
Yep.
I didn't mean it that way, Piggy boy. Okay. You see, Neku is a nightclub DJ for gay people.
Well, if we're going by my Piggy lore, I apparently worked at Chippendales a long time ago, but that's
Oh.
besides the point.
Oh, wow. So, Diggy, I'm sorry. I thought I booked.
Hmm?
You booked it?
What?
Yep. This show just keeps getting gayer and gayer.
I don't know what Chippendale is because I'm 26.
I think it's like an old, like, male strip
Erotic
club.
male dancers.
Yeah.
Diggy.
Ah.
Well, not really old because it's still around.
Oh, it's still
Las
going around,
Vegas.
but like
It's Las
it became
Vegas.
popular because of an SNL skit.
Yeah.
So Neku, are you going to take your husband to work?
No, he's an introvert.
Oh, you gotta take him to one of your sessions, right? You gotta make
You gotta
him
bring
more
him out of his
extroverted.
shell.
I'm
Yeah.
sure if it's something more local, I can convince him.
Mm-hmm. Because we need to do that. We need to, and pardon my French, we need to kill the introvert curse, right? We need to kick out the introvert mindset because we need people to mingle. We need people to interact. We need people to embrace who they are. Because
Well,
an
I did take him to
introvert,
Sakura Con, so it's a start.
yeah, an
He's breaking out of
introvert.
his
Hey, can we talk
shell.
about the old commercial? Can we talk about the old commercial for Sakura-Con? The
Oh,
fucking Garuga Mesh
gosh,
guy?
yes.
Oh. But an introvert is simply someone who isn't comfortable being who they are in society. That's all an introvert is. Because there's a reason for the fear. It's a fear of not being accepted for who you are. My future plans, ladies and gentlemen, is to make more videos, more shows.
Apparently, it's to be more gay. Sorry.
Stop looking at me like that, Dash. Why does he do that? His avatar looks like he's cross with me for some reason.
It's just the way my head's turned. It's just the way my head's turned. I have
It's the
multiple
whole
monitors.
thing. That's the secret, Cap.
In your eyes.
I'm always pissed.
Right? I just want to keep the train on the tracks, and I think we're doing a stellar job at doing that. And for me, the key is to just keep things rolling, because there will come a time, guys, when everyone gets wiped out, and I will be able to return to the flesh. Because that's sod's law, folks. Microsoft is doing well. I'm doing well. Everyone else is like, no, I need my money, YouTube. Oh, you remonetize me, but you've made me algorithmically fucked for the next 90 days. Right? The worse everyone else is doing outside of our bubble, the better we're going to do, guys. Okay? And vice versa. All right? You going to sleep, Damien? Wake up. Wake up, Damien. Have you gone? Have you fucked off?
No, I'm still
Yeah,
here.
wake up.
Yep. We're about to wrap up. Anything else you want
Yeah.
to say before we close out?
Like the stream, share the stream, and we still have time for donations,
Yep.
folks. Pack
Time.
them in.
We gotta have our
Alright.
last 30-minute dono begging.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Kata, for the raid. Appreciate it, buddy. And
And also Slay rated 2 earlier.
oh, yep, Slayer also rated. All right. I'll see you all next time.
Yep. Bye,
We love
guys.
you all.
Bye.
Yeah,
We love
thanks
you
for having me,
all.
guys.